Here we go. And you can see the stream is arriving to us, to the beautiful people that we are. And hey, I'm smiling.
It's working.
Yee. So hey everyone, welcome aboard. We are listening to the radio today.
Cool.
It seems. Welcome everybody. Oh yeah, I'm gonna start the other chat here because some people are in the IRC chat room and not on the other one. So connect. Welcome everyone. This is the Shortwave radio show that comes to you from Montreal, Quebec, Canada. My name is Gilles, and today we will, of course, be checking out Shortwave radio bands portable with my nephew that knows nothing about shortwave. And bienvenue, welcome, Gabriel.
Always a pleasure.
And of course, today we have a selection of portable receivers. Hope that we're gonna hear something. The only thing we've been hearing is Cuba for now. And of course, this show is every week, alternating Fridays and Saturdays. So today's Friday, 2000 hours UTC. Next week will be Saturday, 2000 hours UTC. And we talk about radio. We just have a lot of fun. We talk about pretty much everything. And at the end, we should be a little drunk. So, you know.
That's encouraging.
Today, our drink is vodka with juice. So this will be our little drink for today. I think I put maybe a little too much vodka in mine.
Nah, you never put too much vodka.
But it tastes good. So cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Hope everyone is going to have fun with us. I've started with, personally, the Texan PL680 on my side. So I think this is going to be cool.
And this is what I'm using
choosing the Sangean ATS 505. So I think we've got two nice little radios here.
Cool.
I like one thing about that one. It's bigger. It feels like you got a radio.
Yeah.
You know, compared to very small portables like.
That's cool. Yeah.
You know, like the GP5. It's like that little thing.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of weird. But we're gonna have fun with all of that, and we'll let the GP5 do a few tuning with the easy tuning mode. So
cool.
I think it's gonna be fun to use that also. So hope everybody will enjoy the show. If you got questions, of course, we're here for that. I'm here for that because I don't think he'll be answering many questions except the ones for newbies.
I'm gonna ask questions, not answer them.
And we, of course, put up the pirate flag for today. And hope that you guys enjoy our show. Welcome, PLF, MDK2, Richard Cook, John Ritson, Spazoo Radio, Ralph Bender, Randall Klontz, Venster Bank, Bobby Burgess, Jeff KD5 QDO, Midwest MSC, Hans de Zoo, I don't know how you pronounce it, but I guess it's something like that, from Scotland, Carl Sanson, thank you very much for the donation, by the way, Carl. MDK2 is okay. Scotty Tier 6 in Toronto. Gerald Decare. Hello there, Gerald. I like to say it in French. Gerald. David Snyder. Hey there. Hope everybody's fine.
Mad Boy.
Mad Boy. Anybody else we're missing? Say hello if we didn't say hey to you. What?
Ecal Corsi.
Ecal Corsi or El Cal Corsi from New York. Brett Wayne, hello there. KC Red Dragon.
Brother of Bruce.
Yes. Patrick Manny. Nice to have everybody here. So right now, so we had Cuba.
Yeah, we had Cuba.
15140 in French.
Actually, one thing I will do, I'm going to take out my headphones. And so I can tune and search.
Oh yeah, that would be a good idea actually, so that it doesn't interfere with the microphone. So that's a good idea.
One headphone and the other listening to you.
That's why I have him. He's so intelligent. Farney Jr., hello there.
We need someone to compensate for you.
Yes, of course. We need to be on a shortwave radio. By the way, I have news from Andre, Cool AM Radio, that sent me a little note saying that if you were looking for the relay station on 5150 and found that it's missing, they are now on 5200 instead.
Okay.
So instead of 5150, search for them on 5200 kilohertz. So they made a frequency change. So hope that everybody has fun tonight. Hey, Michael Bott, nice to have you here. And okay, so tuning the bands a little bit. If anybody has signals or anything that you're listening in your part of the world, why not share it with us? We'll try it here. So, of course, I've got Cuba and 15140 in French. I think somebody mentioned earlier, I've got too much noise here, but yeah, it is there slightly. There's Radio Kuwait is on 15540 right now, but it's very weak because the noise level here is very high, and it wasn't high like that last time that we actually were tuning together. So I'm really wondering how come...
I hear it a little bit.
Yeah, it's there in the noise. If it wasn't for the noise, we'd be hearing it quite well, actually.
Would be curious to try it at my place with less noise, actually.
Yeah, for sure. And we'll have one. You know, in the next time that we do this, maybe we'll do it we'll do a from the chair in the middle of the park.
That'd be nice.
And of course, it won't be as long because I don't have the battery resource to do 3 hours. But,
or the cellular data.
Well, the cell data, not too bad. I can cope with that. You know, if I go overboard from a couple of gigabytes, it's not too bad. But 17855, yes, that is Spain. It's really strong.
Yeah, I got it.
Un porcentaje muy elevado y sobre todo tenemos la cuota de mercado.
So 17855 is
Radio Spain.
Spain, which is now pretty much in the national radio, is Spanish radio now, because they're just relaying the local national Spanish radio today. But you know, that signal proves you that any shortwave broadcaster that really puts out its power, has good antennas, and directs to North America is really coming in well, even on the 16-meter band. So, you know, we see that the weak signals is mostly because a lot of stations do not broadcast anymore towards North America, which is a little sad, you know, compared to 10 years ago, 15 years ago, which was crazy. So Spain on 17855. Apart from that, what else do we have? Nothing much. Just you know, listening to radio. I haven't prepared anything. Kind of a little crazy week here, so I didn't really prepare anything special for our show. Just going with the flow and questions.
Enjoying ourselves.
Enjoying, you know, some having some fun. Jerry, you were listening to something from Antarctica earlier. I saw it in the chat. What is it still there on the 20-meter band? Station on 9875. Am I hearing anything here? No.
Nope.
Boy, that noise is very high.
That's crazy. Seriously.
What is that noise? I have to try something here. Okay?
Yeah.
I'm going to do one thing. I'm going to unplug one power supply that's not used here.
Just unplug everything.
I just want to see, because here we're at 4 out of 5 on my radio. What if I unplug this here? It didn't change anything.
Nope.
And what if I unplug
this?
Let's unplug everything. Who the hell is that wire? Okay, that's this one. Doesn't change.
Well, you're done at 3 out of 5.
Yeah, but I'm not sure it's what I did.
No, me neither.
It's incredible. A lot of noise. A lot of noise.
Yeah.
More than the other time. Remember, we didn't have noise that high.
No, it was that crazy.
That's the problem, is because it could be the neighbor downstairs. There's nothing I can do about it. I'm going to try something here.
Just destroy the neighbors.
Oh. We found something.
What did you do?
I unplugged the laptop.
Well,
we have an unused laptop that is on a power supply.
You could unplug the VCR and the speakers too.
Well, that doesn't do anything, so it's okay. I already know. So let's try Kuwait again.
Whoa. What was Kuwait already?
15540. Well, that one is still noisy, but they're slightly better. But on the frequency we were listening to earlier, now it's a big difference.
Yeah.
So I gotta unplug that shit every time I listen to the radio. I gotta do that now. So I have a laptop. The one that I use to make the shows, I always have it, on my big screen TV. And on my big screen TV now, it's a desktop computer that I have. So the laptop is not turned on, but the power supply was making a lot of noise. So I just unplugged the power supply, and immediately I just saw the major difference in the noise level in the radio. So that is pretty good.
So by the way, now I'm only just going through everything that is supposed to be playing at this hour without even knowing if it will work or not, just experimenting here.
We're going to check out here. So, but it's the problem with that power supply. It's one of those cheap Chinese power supplies you buy on eBay because I just needed a power supply quickly. And so that is the worst piece of shit for noise.
Very, very, very faint through the noise, and on the 9480 Radio Japan.
9480.
Very, very, very faint. Very little bit through the noise. I can distinguish a little something.
I don't really hear anything here.
It's just like, with this directly in my ears, I do hear a little bit better when it's...
So, what else? Oh, sometimes listening on 7.3, I see my little blip travel across the top of the scope. Usually moves left to right. Yeah, these are ionosons. These are propagation beacons, if you want. They broadcast and they actually sweep the frequency ranges. And there's a receiver, and it actually makes a graph of what are the best frequencies to broadcast shortwave. So some agencies use that to see what frequency range you're going to broadcast your signal on.
Egypt on 98.95 a little bit.
Okay, let's check it out, Egypt. Now the problem with Egypt is that it's usually there, but you barely or almost never understand because it's too distorted. And that's it's sad because they always have a good enough signal. Anything special here? Let's check it out here. Let's tune it a little bit more. We still have a lot of noise now. And propagation isn't that great. I can see it because I usually have more signals than that. Anything else here? Let's check it out. We'll go on to different frequencies. Let's see what we can hear. I hear WWV. Yeah, WWV is coming in well on 15,000. Time signal station. Yeah, K-index is at 4 right now, like PLF is saying, and it's when I wait at 5 o'clock, 2100 hours UTC, we will have the new K-index reading. We'll see if it stayed the same or not. Yeah, Captain Dave on the 80 meter band. That guy is kind of a nut job. So what else do we have? So 9785, I didn't hear really nothing. Oh yeah, I do hear something.
Yeah, I do too.
That sounds. Let's reverse the frequency. We're gonna turn this one on. We'll go to EIBI space.de.
97.
We'll go on the frequency list. We're going to search. That sounds like Turkey.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, it really has. What is that? So we're at 2000 hours. 2030. It cannot be Voice of Korea.
No.
That sounds like Turkey for me.
But Turkey is only
But
at 1.
Turkey is not on 98. Oh, nice. Okay, I got the wrong one. Sorry. 9785 is the frequency. 9785 is the frequency. I had that. Here we go. This must be Turkey. I would bet it. Yep.
Yeah.
1830, 1930. No, it ends at 1930.
No.
But that really sounds like Turkey.
What?
The rest would be, there's nothing at that frequency on that time.
Could be Turkey.
You know, it happens that Turkey sometimes they just forget to turn off the transmitter. And because that, you know, I'm used to listening to the voice of Turkey, and that definitely sounds like Turkish music.
Yeah.
So I put my hand in the fire to say this is voice of Turkey.
9675.
So in 9675.
Cannot hear a lot, but do you hear something? It's in Spanish.
Let's check it out. 9675 is at this time. That would be the broadcasting of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia.
Cool. That's cool.
What is TU? What's that language? TU.
That would be.
Usually it's in Arabic, but TU. What's TU?
Wait. What's TU? I'm gonna search here.
Anything else? No, actually, you know what that sounds like?
Nope.
Wait a minute. What is that language?
I'm looking right now.
Because it's not impossible. It could be Radio Cancao Nova from Brazil in Portuguese.
Okay. At this time,
But I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I'm not sure of the language. It's like I usually.
It sounds Spanish to me.
If it sounds Spanish, it could be Portuguese, which has a kind of a follows. Turkish? Oh yeah, Turkish maybe. Turkish. 9675. I think that's Portuguese.
I think too.
I think 9675 is Portuguese.
Sounds closer to Spanish than Turkish.
So 9675, I think this is Cancao Nova from Brazil. That's what I would think. Does that sound, anybody? 9675. Does that sound like Portuguese to you? Yeah, I know we could check the README PLF, but I've not. I don't feel like pulling out that file and start looking through it.
What the heck am I hearing now?
Hey there, Mick H. Nice to have you here. What we are using, the antenna is a wire. This wire going behind the
flag.
The flag, and goes up to a roll of about 60. There's 60 feet of wire rolled up. Just at the top corner near my window here in the front. And so it's, I don't know, we have maybe, 10 feet, 12 feet of, 13 feet of indoor wire with the roll right there. And the radios we're using right now, he's using the Sangean ATS 505, and I'm using the Texan PL 680. And I will be tuning the easy tuning mode here on this one.
Hearing Radio Mark T on 9565.
Yeah, that one is usually good here. So let's, I'm just going to do this, and I'm going to let it do easy tuning mode here. And see
what's on 9460? Somebody mentioned it. I do hear it a little bit. 9460.
Difficult to hear the language. Let's
Oh, could it be Voice of Turkey?
Yes, it's possible. It's totally possible. We'll check it
In
out.
Turkish.
So 9460.
I believe it is Voice of Turkey.
So it could be
The last one. Check the last one.
1621. Voice of Turkey got to Europe. That would sound right because usually to Europe, same direction. So we are getting Turkey. 9460 is Voice of Turkey in Turkish. So now we have our answer. TU is really Turkish because there's nothing else on that frequency at that time anyways. So that's Voice of Turkey right there, 9460. And anybody have questions, if I missed questions, so just let me know. Always checking that out. What else do we have? Any other questions I missed or something? Nope. So 9675. Okay. Yeah. Well, it's too complicated for me to clip a wire to the for the sloper because my sloper antenna, the wire goes in my office, which is another room. So it makes it too complex for me to do that. Hey there, 1990 Sunbird. Nice to have you on board. The cat is... Oh, he's not there anymore. Probably we're making too much noise. So
Isn't he outside?
Oh, did I? Oh, yeah, I did. I did. That's right. That's right.
It's not raining yet.
No, and with that type of weather, I'm going to enjoy it a little bit. So we are listening and checking out signals on the shortwave bands. Hope you guys enjoy our show. It's always fun to have these shows. And of course, let's just check. We're reaching 48 now. Hey, it was so cool. Last show on Saturday, we reached 105 at the peak. 105 at the peak. That was nice.
Cool.
105. I hope to have something like that or even better. Maybe not. On Fridays, the turnout is always a little smaller. But, we got to remember that half of North America is still working. So, probably missing out on a few people. But we'll see. What else do we have? Anything interesting? We'll try 5200 even though it's a little early. There's really a lot of noise here. It's incredible. Okay, let's go to the 19 meter band. So WWV coming in really well. Cuba on 5140 is really good. What do we have here? WEWN coming in very well on 15610.
Called Law, Darwinism, and Public Education, where I dealt with the question of whether it is permissible under the Constitution to teach intelligent design in public school.
So, easy tuning mode. On the GP5, easy tuning mode stumbled upon WRMI 11580, WTWW 12105, Cuba and French on 15140. Actually really good for a small radio just with the antenna.
That's nice.
Really cool little radio, I'll say that. And Spain, blasting its way here with just this. 17855. Spain is amazing. Really amazing. Hey there, Joe Palou. Nice to have you here. 7490, which would be WBCQ at this time. Can you try 7490?
74.9?
7490.
Nope, nothing here.
Nothing. Propagation is clearly not as good as it was the last time we did it together. Remember, we had a lot of signals. I have the impression noise is higher also. Mick says the antenna. I've been reading about the DXing DE31 loop, K231 loop. What do you you, the community in the chat room, think of these things when compared to a length of wire. You know, if from what I've seen, the D31 is okay. Of course, a loop antenna has a major difference with a lot of the wire like I'm using. Usually, the okay, PLF says it doesn't sound Spanish or Portuguese, so it's probably Turkish. What we were listening to earlier, I would guess.
I guess.
As for a loop, usually picks up less noise than a wire antenna like I have here. And I have a suspicion, because I know that my neighbors are downstairs today because they make a lot of noise. And I have a suspicion that they turned on devices that make the noise even higher today here. So, you know.
Just blast them.
Oh, man, if I could. I'd like to have, you know, like a 1 kilowatt transmitter to just overpower everything they have. Man. Joe Polly was on 14290 and could hardly contact Ohio to California. I'm going to check the 20 meter band, see if I can hear some amateur radio stations.
Hearing Catholic radio on 12050. Well, pretty weirdly, but I do hear something.
Yeah, they're much. I think they're in Spanish, right? Could they be in Spanish? 12050?
Oh, just hearing it too weird too. Well, I think it's Spanish, yeah. 12050.
Trying to see. I'm not hearing a lot, and nothing much on the 20 meter band. And I'm going crazy with that noise. I'm gonna try something here. I'm curious to see if
the antenna itself.
Just this. I'm gonna try a few things because I'm wondering if that wire that we're using, if it's not worse. 69675. Well, actually, I don't receive anything anymore, so it actually does a job that it's supposed to. I got a defective. You know, you buy me this plug and say, hey, I bought you this, and it's a joke. I would be sure that it's a joke. The crocodile clip is crooked. It's almost impossible to open. It always slips. So 7490, not hearing it here. Brett Wayne loves his GP5.
That's what happens when you make them with Chinese people.
You get it. Jill, you getting intoxicated was the best entertainment of that night on the couch. Not well, you know that we have those moments, hey? We have those moments where we kind of drink a lot.
And my glass is getting empty faster than yours.
Yes, actually, it's the reverse today. It's really the reverse today. So yeah, I should call Hydro-Quebec and say, well, can you just like power down the whole neighborhood for my next show so that we can really DX?
What's the weird stuff on 13845?
Oh, that's the annoying woman that talks about Jesus all the time and on WWCR. She's there all the time.
Okay, next.
She's trying to tell us that we are bad people. Radio Romania interval on 9610. Yep.
Oh.
Yep. I'm hearing it in the noise, but I'm hearing it.
Yeah.
But we see that the signals are not as strong as they usually are. Hey there, Danny, Shortwave Radio DX. Nice to have you here from Yonkers, New York. I tried 7850. I'm not hearing the CHU time signal. I haven't heard it on 7850 in a long time. And on 3330, I believe it's still off the air. So, any others? 760. Let's check it out here. Greece is coming in on 9420. Voice of Greece 9420. Not as strong as I'm usually hearing it, but it's there, 9420. Beer can radio listening. So, Radio Marti, not that many signals.
Spain in Spanish at 17,855, of course.
Yeah,
Last
that's
thing
Spain.
through us.
Yeah, that's Spain. One thing I want to check out here, 2030, I believe there's a few frequencies for Romania. I think it's in English, right? 2030 UTC, Radio Romania, Eastern North America. Well, let's try 11850. Yeah, it's there, but it's not very strong. Not super strong. Not super strong, I gotta say.
Hearing a little bit Radio Japan in French at 11985.
Let's do a little experiment here. Doesn't change a thing. And I know that my laptop's power supply, this one is very quiet. So 9610 and 11850 is Radio Romania for North America. You guys in Europe should get 6170, but I've heard it much stronger than that usually. So we see that propagation is not really good tonight. Usually blasts here much stronger than that.
I hear a little bit of Radio Japan here, but
so what else do we have? 7170. Hey Europe DX, nice to have you here. This is my nephew Gabriel, that is a newbie in shortwave radio.
Yeah.
And he's my co-host of From the Couch, the tech show on Thursdays. And why not plug our own show too? From the Couch, every Thursdays at 2000 UT, 4 p.m. And we talk about gaming and technology news. And so we graciously said, yeah, why not? We're going to tune around and
cool.
have fun, you know, even though signals don't seem that fantastic. But, you know, as time goes on, you never know. So Gabriel is my nephew.
Nice to be here.
Question about power supplies. Do the ones that are provided with computers okay as far as RF5 goes? I mean, the ones made by Apple, Dell, HP, Acer, reputable computer companies, not cheapies. Most original power supplies that come with the computer are usually better than the cheap ones that you buy on eBay. But they're not all created equal. Some are worse than others. I've seen some Acer power supplies being bad. Here I've got a Toshiba power supply, and I've got another Toshiba in my office. And original Toshiba power supplies seem to be very quiet. Plugged in, unplugged, I don't see a difference. So they seem to be very low noise, but it is it varies from manufacturer to manufacturer. But the cheap ones that you buy from on eBay are horrible. They're always the ones, you know, we just saw a great example and I unplugged it, how it made a huge difference in our shortwave noise. So I got to tell you. Hey, Paul Smith, nice to have you here. So massive. Well, the flare was like yesterday, or it was on the edge of the sun. I can just, you know, check quickly here what we have by looking at solar ham, not the one the kind that you heat, but
Solar ham.
solar ham. So what do we have here? What we have
Does solar ham taste better than regular ham?
Well, it must be quite zingy. So there was an eruption of 2651, but it was on April 19th, and it's on the edge of the sun, so it doesn't have any impact to us. It did a radio blackout for about an hour when it erupted, but it's really on the edge of the sun. It doesn't have an impact. What's really impacting us right now is that there's a huge coronal hole in the sun. So there's more solar wind escaping, and it's practically, looking at Earth. So what's happening right now is that the solar wind is stronger around Earth, and it's creating these geomagnetic storms right now. That's why the K index is at 4, because the solar wind is stronger than usual, so it's kind of impacting on our geomagnetic field around Earth. And this is the fun of shortwave, is when you start looking at all the aspects of what influence the signals, and you start learning that the sun, the solar wind, and the solar flares and the solar activity impacts what you're listening on your radio, it gets crazy. You see that it's just an amazing, it's an amazing hobby when you get all the aspects of that.
Yeah, that's cool.
Solar flux 81, it actually increased thanks to that big sunspot that's actually coming back. It's actually an old sunspot. It was the sunspot that was really big last month, and of course it crossed the backside of the sun, and now it's returned. So it's giving us a solar flux which is a little higher, 81. So I expect this weekend, if we're going to have a K index that drops below 3, I think this weekend the higher frequencies might be interesting to listen to, because the solar flux has been really, really low. We've been reaching like 70, 72, 73. That is almost the lowest that it can be. My record of the lowest solar flux I've seen is 64, and that's when the last solar cycle was at the bottom, and we're reaching the bottom now. We're we're a year away from the bottom of the solar cycle, which is kind of sad for shortwave listening, but still, I see a lot of posts that people say, oh, we're getting into this low solar activity now. I guess I'm going to do something else than the shortwave radio. And I think that's being short-sighted. I think that's not understanding our hobby. Look, frequencies that I'm going to listen to are going to be lower in frequency. That's of course. But you know what? There's going to be tons of signals to listen to.
Of course.
It doesn't, impact to the fact that shortwave's dead. It's not the case, So we gotta remember that. The impact is there, but it will not prevent us from listening to shortwave. That's for sure. The absolute lowest the solar flux can be, I believe, is 60. I think it's 60. It starts at 60, and the higher is 400. So
why don't they make it a scale that starts at 0 and goes up?
Don't ask me why. Okay, I don't understand why they do these weird scales that, probably because they say the sun, I understand that you want to have one that starts at 0, like the lowest is 0. But then at the same time, I might understand why they say, well, even when the sun is really, really, really at the lowest, it still emits a little bit of energy.
Yeah.
So let's put the scale at 60 at the lowest,
and
not at 0.
Maybe there are other suns in the universe which can go lower than that.
Well, there's we know that from watching astronomy that there are some of the stars that are near us that we can actually detect the slight variations of their solar cycles and the solar flares that they emit. And that's where we see that the sun is 11-year solar cycle. But I think it's Sirius that it has a solar cycle. From the measures they've made over the years, it has a solar cycle of like 3 years.
No.
So it's like peak to bottom 3 years. They have also seen some stars that have like solar cycles that seem to be like 100 years. So it's like, in one lifetime you see one solar cycle and not even all of it. So,
in a lifetime, I don't think we'll even see Pluto go around the sun.
No, we will not. I think what it takes, 240 years, something like that.
Yeah, kind of.
It's a very, very long period of time.
I believe recently it just finished its first orbit since it was discovered.
Oh yeah, well, not even.
No, I think it did.
But Pluto, I'm trying to remember how many years it is to go around the sun. Okay, Jupiter is 12 years. Saturn is like 30 years.
Pluto, dwarf planet.
What's his orbital period? I'm trying to remember. I think it's longer than that.
248 years.
That's it. 248. So it's been discovered in 1930.
Yeah. Okay.
So we haven't.
Then I might be mistaken with something else.
I think you're right, but but it's if I'm not mistaken, I think it's Neptune.
Could be.
I think it's Neptune that we've done since its first discovery in 18 something. It did a first.
Neptune, 164 years.
Yes, and I think it did that 164 years since we've seen we actually found it.
Okay, my bad.
Hey there, Cool AM Radio. So Brett Wayne says 17855 is S9 in Western New York. Yeah, it's very, very strong on 17855.
Yeah.
Planet X, it's that one of that big mystery that we're not really sure even that it was calculated correctly. Planet X, when they discovered Pluto in 1930.
Okay. Isn't that in Bugs Bunny, Planet X?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, with the Martian or something.
Yeah. We discovered it.
Yes.
Dodgers discovered
true.
it.
So what is happening is that in 1930, when they found Pluto, the orbit of Pluto is so bizarre that they actually calculated that it must have an influence by something that we haven't discovered yet.
Kind of like Mercury when they first discovered it.
Mm.
Its orbit was so weird they thought that Vulcan was between Mercury and the Sun.
Yep. So
I'm sad it isn't.
Yeah. So it's like there's interactions with every planet, and I don't know. Today, I've read an article that seemed to say that today, with our better knowledge we have of the solar system, it actually is orbiting in an orbit that we understand a little more. But there is an influence. We know there's an influence of something that must be bigger than Pluto itself, at least somewhere much farther away in our solar system. And but yet the only thing we found were they found a new one last year. I think they found a new one. It's like the farthest object in our solar system yet. It's extremely faint, almost impossible to see.
And it could be something as big, even as some kind of other solar systems with planets so big that they do influence us in some way.
Yeah, but
I believe it.
At the distance that we are, if you look at the closest star, which is Alpha Centauri, it starts to get so far that the influence isn't that big. We do have influence from outside. I mean, we have influence from the center of our galaxy that, of course,
drags us closer and closer.
We're orbiting around that at like it takes 100,000 years or something. 30,000 years or 100,000 years.
A long time. So I won't be there.
It's like, none of us will be there when it happens.
Only get dragged into the black hole.
And basically, there are some impacts. There are things that we don't understand. For example, did you know that the Pioneer spacecrafts and the different spacecrafts that are sent out, Voyager spacecrafts, that are actually right now getting away from us in the solar system, have a little error in their direction that we don't understand. So as they're going through the solar system, where they should exactly be, they're always a little next to it.
Maybe this hypothetical dark matter that we haven't seen or discovered, but we kind of know it exists somehow.
Yeah, I'm just gonna, I know you guys in the chat room a little bit with, if you guys want to help me out, it's always appreciated. I want to thank you all for what you're doing. PayPal donations are accepted. You can also become my boss at patreon.com/radio and computers. Really, really appreciate it. You guys have been helping me out and helps me really continue what I do right now. So, okay, did you hear that about the meteor near miss on Wednesday when it passed by? It's actually near miss. It's not.
No, near is relative.
I think it's 1.5 million kilometers away to pass.
Near is kind of relative,
We have these close close passes quite regularly. We even have, I think it was last year, there was a meteorite that actually, or a meteor, or well, it's a meteor. What is it? A meteor when it stays in space, and a meteorite when it falls on Earth, something like that.
I guess.
Anyways, last year there was one that actually passed between the moon and the Earth. And 2 or 3 years ago, we even had one that was so close that actually passed in our belt of geosynchronous satellites.
Yeah.
So, it happens from time to time. But most of those are pretty much already monitored. So we know that they're passing by. Well, we know every time they're passing by. There's no real threat right now about, anything that's going to fall on us someday.
The threat are the things that we didn't find.
Yeah, that's more of a problem. The ones that we haven't, seen yet, we don't know they are there already. And so, anyways, what else do we have? 5200 cool AM. I tried it a little earlier. I don't hear anything on 5200 right now. But here the sun is going to set in like
2 hours.
Even almost 3 hours. The sun is setting like at 7 local time, 7:40, I think, which means it's like 3 hours away. So 5200 is kind of a low frequency to listen to. 18157.4. Let's check it out. 18157. Anything there? There is an amateur radio operator on 18165 upper sideband.
Because when you walk anywhere around it, man, you're in the sand, and if it's dewy in the morning, you're going to have sand everywhere. And I just assume I might even buy a couple pallets of grass and just go ahead and put some sod down it. We got a sod farm right behind us here, so I'm going to start my truck and get.
So the strong amateur radio operator 18165 upper sideband right now. Yes, man, when that James Webb Space Telescope is up there, that's going to be amazing.
Hearing a little bit, I think, of, could it be All India on 9445?
Yes, that's possible. It's funny that you're mentioning it because Richard Cook's listening to it on 9445. But he's in the UK, so he's getting it stronger than us.
Yeah, it said it to Europe.
But yes, that James Webb Space Telescope is going to be amazing.
And what is HI in the language?
Indie.
Indie?
Yeah. Oh yeah, the Mercury cars. Did you have sweet dreams? Yes, especially on our game playing. Oh, that was something. I forgot about that when we were playing the games.
You drank too much.
We were playing the games on the retro gaming, and we I was calling every player Tits. Hey, Tits wins. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Oh man, I forgot about that. That means when you do a live show, you got to be careful what you do, because somebody always says, "Hey, remember last week when you did that?" And you don't remember.
Remember when you were dancing naked on the table?
Well, that I think, remember really, really well.
Or not.
So, hey, 53 people right now watching live. Not bad.
Cool. Thailand on 9390?
Yeah, this is not making it here and ever. Let's try.
No, definitely not.
There's something though, weak, but I don't know what it is. So 94.45. Yep. All India Radio is making it.
Yeah, I heard
on, we'll try 11670. No, 11670 is not making it. 9445 making it in English right now. Not too bad. Usually it gets a little better as time goes on when they shut down at 2230 UT. So,
well,
oh yeah, I gotta make you listen to that Gilles mix that he made. It's just funny.
Well, you know what, Cool AM Radio, you can still rip up the video and do a mix after that if you want.
Gilles mix with tits. That sounds weird. Hey, David in Barcelona. Nice to have you on board. And yeah, he's happy to see you too. So yeah, the pirate flag is here. So
This flag was in my home before being here, but my mother was tired of seeing it in the living room.
and of course, I made sure that if they would never want that flag again, that it would come here because it just fits so well with
What you're doing,
you know. So
So it was a useful flag after all.
yes, absolutely. And of course, it's gonna get back on the wall of my office soon. It's just that we're probably getting very, very close to painting the apartment. So I'm going to, especially my office is gonna drive me crazy, pretty sure. Hey, Abundant 1444, nice to have you here. Pretty cool.
11790.
11790. I think this is. Well, no, he's not a radio freak. He's more of a
Not
newbie.
really. Yeah, you know, it's just fun.
But he's enjoying it.
Yeah,
He's enjoying
it's
it.
just fun. China?
What's that?
No, that's not China.
At this time, there's a lot of stuff there.
Oh,
Yeah, that could
no.
be Adventist World Radio in an
Oh yeah,
Yo language, which I don't know what that is.
Yugoslav.
Maybe.
What is Yo language?
It's for West Africa, and it's
Oh, boy.
transmitted via the France transmitter site, using the Radio France transmitter site. But that's pretty sure that's what we're hearing here. And if I had to say what yo sounds like, it does sound like yo. Even though I have no idea what yo.
Yo bitch.
It's probably some kind of African language. I would say.
I'm trying to find out. I know there's a place you can check, but.
So, what else? Bobby Burgess listening to 5200 on the web SDR, very strong. Cool. Patrick Manny says newbie here. And hey there, WizKid Hetty, nice to have you here. Pretty cool. Oh, that's cool. Brett Wayne has the same flag in his radio room, KC2 and XP. Baron Coops, hello there. Nice to have you here. Anybody has Yoruba? Okay, some kind of African language.
Yoruba.
Probably some kind of African language.
Well.
Okay.
I believe it's African.
Kevin Y, hello there.
Yoruba people are an ethnic group of southwestern and north-central Nigeria, as well as southern and central Benin, together known as Yorubaland.
Okay. So now we know why they're broadcasting in that.
40 million people total.
Okay.
That.
We know why they're broadcasting in that language.
So there are more people there than in Canada, actually.
Interesting when you think about it.
And we are the second biggest country in the world.
Any SDR Smart versus RTL SDR V3. Anyone any info? Can't really help you. I don't know enough about these devices to really help.
You know,
So
I still find it interesting to just hear these different languages, even though I don't understand a thing.
You know, that's the type of transmission, even if you don't understand a thing, that makes it like exotic. You know,
Yeah.
it's kind of exotic. You're listening to some.
They are
signal.
drinking pina colada while listening to.
I remember one of the shows that I was watching once listening to one night was from Radio New Zealand. And they had a show a long time ago that was called something Sounds from the South Pacific.
Okay.
Something like that. And I can just tell you, at midnight, listening on a summer evening to the sounds of Southern Pacific Ocean really made it exotic. It was like, okay, I'm somewhere else. You know, and imagine on a summer evening when it's hot, You just close your eyes and you think that you're there probably because it's just the same weather.
We should do a show of 3 hours of listening to the oceans while just breathing.
Welcome. Today we are listening to the sounds of the ocean. Let's listen together.
Don't make a noise. Listen to the fish that just
Please don't chat. Oh man.
Whiskey Eddie.
Yes, Whiskey Eddie. Nice to have you here. I saw somebody had a question. Patrick, did DX TV stations way back in the analog days? Yeah. Man, I had a lot of fun with that. I had a black and white TV that I remember when I was young, I had a black and white TV that my parents wanted to throw away.
I'm going to fill my glass and check if the cat wants to come in.
Yes, please. That would be very nice of you to do so. I actually had that black and white TV, and it was really good at receiving signals from far away. So it was funny because, I would install myself in the summer days when there were sporadic E-skip and start tuning channel 3, 4, 5 and really, really having a lot of fun. I've received just with the rabbit ears. I received Florida TV stations, Alabama TV stations, Texas stations. I've received stations from a lot of places. It was really, really cool. I'm going to tell you that. Has anyone heard about the ICOM SCR 8600 and when it will be launched in the Netherlands? I know it's supposed to be launched any day now, but in the Netherlands we don't know. So here is our mascot, Mr. DX the cat, that's coming over and seeing what's happening. And wants to say hi. Want to come here? Come on. Let me say hello. Want to come here? Hello. DX the cat is undecided, and here is Mr. Cat saying hello to everybody. And hope you guys... The camera is a little high, but Mr. Cat is saying hi to everyone. Yeah, Mr. Cat. So, hey, nice to have everybody here. DXing TV was really, really, really cool. Casey Red Dragon, can you hear the NOAA sat on 137.620? Yes, absolutely. Not on these radios because these radios don't go into the VHF frequency range, but 137.620 on my portable wideband receiver or on any scanner, any VHF, UHF scanner you can listen to these satellites easily. Even with the rubber duck antenna. Well, you had a 50-foot tower, Patrick. That must have been fun for DXing signals. Hey, Jumbo Bumper, nice to have you here. Receiving Greece on 9420 in Denmark, and it actually is coming in very well here right now. Really having a great signal. So that was really, really cool. I can tell you that. So really, really nice. I don't have any radios near me for that the KC Red Dragon. I'd have to get my scanner radio in the other room for that to listen to it. That's pretty cool. Oh, okay, that's a good idea. Now I understand why you want to be my servant.
Yes, master.
You will now be my servant. I will pay you $5 a day. Please bring me my beer.
Yes, master.
Come on, DX wants to eat. Paul wants to eat. If you want to have your $5 for today, you better give him food. Watershed 44, hello there. Nice to have you here. Just did an alignment on his 37-year-old Panasonic RF 4900.
I think it's me who put too much vodka in mine.
Okay, well,
Ooh.
you'll just be...
Ooh.
We'll be playing tits games again tonight.
Don't play with mine, please.
How is this Be Your Boss works on Patreon? Well, Patreon is a website where, okay, first of all, I've had a lot of people ask me what Patreon is. Patreon, okay, there are two guys, actually a guy, I think there are a couple, a guy and a woman, they were actually creating music.
People
And they
think you have a
created-
beautiful ass, Paul.
they were putting that music on YouTube, and they had like millions of views, but thought that they had crappy monetization, which is the case with YouTube. And what happened is they decided that there should be some way for anyone that creates stuff to simply be able to ask, for people to be, give us a little something. Patreon is nice because it's a recurring thing. So once you set it up, you tell how much money you want to give and what's the maximum amount you want to give a month. And it's automatic. So at the beginning of the month, it is automatically deducted. And when I say it's because you become my boss, it's a little bit that Patreon is made in a way that you are giving me something in exchange for what I do.
And you can actually set perks for people who donate certain amounts.
Yeah, and so and also, of course, I am thinking about a few things. For example, there are maybe a few videos that would be unique and only for patrons. I'm working on that, so Patreon might have extra content that nobody else will see, or specific content that somebody might ask me for, and in exchange for the fact that you are giving me a little something every month. So that's why it works.
Hello, Watershed 44.
I have 10 patrons right now, and it's kind of nice. So check it out, patreon.com/radio and computers. If you like what I do, it's a nice way of giving me a little something every month, and it doesn't have to be a lot, Desmond Green, hello there from Belfast, Ireland. Nice to have you on board, and thank you for the nice comments. Yep, like everybody wants to see the DX or Paul the cat. Everybody says, well, there's the show's never complete without seeing the cat, and he is really a cute cat. I got to say that. So really, really, nice to have you here. So Jerry says lots of activity from the International Space Station this week. Now they repaired their transmitter on board, by the way. So 145.825 and 145.800 will be really coming in.
Radio Lebanon in French and 12105.
Yeah, well, Casey Red Dragon, be careful because these satellites are low Earth orbit. To be able to listen to it, it has to be over where the people are. So, for example, that satellite is in a specific area, and it's really, really important to know that you can hear it, but somebody at the other end of, like in the UK, well, if a guy in the UK gets it, I'm not going to receive it here. I have to wait for it to pass over where I am at my location. It's very important to understand. So there's a pass right now for the USA, but you got to be careful because here, especially in that chat room, there's a lot of people from all across Europe, and there's people in Canada and the United States, and we sometimes have Australians. So it's pretty cool. So wow, you put a lot of vodka, I think, in yours, eh?
I didn't think it was that much, but oh my god. And the drinks.
You know what?
Yours too?
Mine is kind of very vodka right now.
Well, cheers then.
Oh god, we are gonna be totally drunk at the end of the show.
Well, we can always go do some karaoke after.
Oh my god, you really sure? Drunk
No.
karaoke never sounds good.
Especially knowing who's working tonight.
Oh my god, there's really a lot of vodka in this thing now. It doesn't even look red anymore, it looks pink. There's more vodka than juice.
Drink and shut up.
Okay, I'm gonna stop.
If you're not happy, make your drink yourselves.
I'm gonna stop being a sissy.
Make your drink yourself.
So for Desmond Green, if you want to donate, you can donate through PayPal at the Yahoo email that I will post here. If the cat can just stop moving. Here we go. Once again, sorry guys, don't want to bother you with this all the time, but
You're
just,
such a bothersome guy.
it helps me a lot, and it's extremely welcome. Thanks everybody.
If everybody who's watching would only give $1 a show,
Yeah, that'd be just
that'd
fantastic.
be just great.
Yeah, absolutely.
$1 a week.
Radio and computers. So here, guys, that's for another time. There we go. So, okay, anyways, what else do we have? So, are the SDR radios better than a traditional receiver, Kevin? Why? They are different, and they if you spend an interesting amount, like the ephedrine I got here is a $200 SDR, and I got to say, a $200 SDR is better than a $200 shortwave receiver for the simple idea that it is actually it's so flexible in its reception and all the tools that you have because of the computer program. And when I use HDSDR, I mean the controls that you got are fantastic. So in some ways, yes, an SDR is actually better in performance when it's a good SDR, but it has the negative side of you need a computer. It has to have to hook it up to a computer. It's not as portable as it would be with a portable receiver. Yeah. It's and there's some knowledge also. I'm a tech guy, and I'm gonna say the ephedrine. I had to tinker and tweak before I was able to have it working correctly. And I'm a tech guy, so I can imagine somebody that is not a tech guy or not really very tech savvy. The knowledge required to have an SDR running on a computer is a little more than basic knowledge. You got to understand how to set it up. So it all depends. It is of course great. I find it fantastic, but basically this is really really cool. As for yes, I'm just gonna post here two little things for those that wonder, because I get that question all the time, and thanks.
Romania and Spanish on 13.8.10.
Yeah. Okay. So Romanian Spanish on
13.8.10.
13.8.10. Let's try it out here.
I believe it's that.
Let's check it out. Yep, that is. It's coming in quite well, actually. So yes, Watershed. I'll post them now. So like our shows from the couch on Tuesdays at 2000 UT. Thursday, 2000 hours UT. My tech show on 1900 UT on Tuesdays also is here on the official Windows 8. That's where you'll find my Windows stuff. Our retro gaming, which is at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, which is 23:30 UTC on Thursday evenings, is on youtube.com/
Old Computer Museum.
Old Computer Museum.
And we must admit, our retro gaming is usually quite intriguing.
If you want to have a side of us that is, and especially a side of me, that's very different from, and I'm sorry, but there's a little bit of swearing, a little bit of moments, a lot of tits yesterday. And that's the Old Computer Museum Retro Gaming Hour. Super Nintendo we did yesterday. And this next Thursday, I haven't decided yet.
We'll see.
I'll see if we check for maybe something else in emulation. Or I was thinking maybe we just set back the Atari and try games we haven't done.
That would be cool too.
So that could be interesting. And coming up soon, our final comeback to the death of World Games.
Come back to the death.
Yes. we will die playing world games, and so that's pretty much. We're having a lot of fun with that. And finally, for those that want to watch or that are intrigued by the Windows Insider program, Windows 10 for everyone is my official Insider channel, and every Tuesday 6 p.m. Eastern, which is 2200 hours UTC, I have the Windows Insider Hour, where we talk about the Insider program in Microsoft, we talk about the latest builds of Windows 10, and we just have a lot of fun. So this is pretty much what we have as programming on our channels. So, and if we have enough donations, we'll buy a studio and have our own online streaming channel of everything. We'll be here 24 hours a day. So, you know, no sleep allowed.
We should do a Facebook Live at some point.
Yeah, that is true. You know, that's something that I was thinking at some point, that Facebook Live could be very, very interesting, by the way. So I think that's pretty cool.
The cooking show on Facebook Live.
Cooking show. That's yeah.
Today is
SG1 Nebraska. Nice to have you on board, by the way. And pretty cool to have everybody here. So Richard Tribble, hello there, says Romania is S9 plus 5 over there, and nice to have you on board. 11880 English unknown station. 11880 must be Cuba. Actually, I hear something on 11880. Thank you, Watershed. No, the buzzer cannot. It's too early here for the buzzer to come in. 11880. What could that be? I hear something that has a lot of fade out. So 11880 in English.
Yeah, right.
Ta-da!
Adventist? Yeah, that would be
English.
Adventist.
Yeah, Adventist World Radio. Richard, it's Adventist World Radio from Austrian transmitter site in English to West Africa. So that's Adventist World Radio you're hearing, Richard. So that's cool. Adventist World Radio 11880. Jumbo Bumper. Well, actually, UVB 76 is a 24-hour-a-day operation. It's always there.
What's on 15370?
Radio Havana, Cuba.
Havana.
Yeah, that frequency is always Cuba. And so it's 24 hours, but it's propagation. You know, propagation has to be good enough for it to propagate to here. Usually, here local time, it's like...
This is not good.
Yeah, you know when the cat wants to go somewhere? Come on.
All the cables are there and just wants to climb.
Come on. En français? Oh, change his mind. No, he wants to go in another way. What? Yeah, come here. Come up here. Everybody can see you. Viens ici.
Why are you looking at me like
Laisse
that?
ton téléphone. So, we're wondering if he's going to jump there or jump on your hand.
Is there something on my hand or what?
It's just he follows everything that moves. So anyways, it's propagation, you know. So here, it has to be darkness path from there to here. Usually, the buzzer, when it does arrive, or I can hear it, around 0000 UT, 8 p.m. local time. Oh, there we have the cat.
15520?
Here we go. You guys are going to have a good look at the cat now. Here we go. Hey.
Antenna alert,
hi.
antenna alert.
Antenna alert, antenna alert. Yes, of course. Hello there. You are on the antenna. And I guess you're going to
Jump on the microphone.
Here, if you want to go. He's not sure.
Hey.
So.
Okay, got over it.
Yeah, usually he does, you know. The worst is, you know, with his tail, it's so stiff sometimes that when he moves next to the camera, sometimes the camera starts moving around because he's actually pulling the camera with his tail. It's just funny. So,
what's on 15520?
15
Spain?
520.
Yeah,
I think it is Spain, yes.
Spain and English.
No, it can be in English.
No?
It's only Spanish.
Spanish?
Spain does not have English.
Exterior
No more.
España?
Yeah, it's in Spanish usually. I think it's Spain.
Why do you keep rubbing yourself against me?
Because he wants to make sure that he knows that you know that he loves you.
And he spit it on my phone.
And he spit it on your phone. No, it's because he probably put his little nose on the phone and it's always wet. His nose always wet. So, anyways, TK2 says, "Come on, DX, we know you like being on YouTube." And now we have our cat video hour.
You should give 50% of the money to DX, to Paul.
Well, I already do in food. That's why he's so fat, like his dad.
He's gonna be on your will.
Yep.
The cat inherits $1 million, and the nephew gets nothing.
Sorry. Okay.
The cat inherits $1 million, and the nephew gets nothing.
Nope. Everybody in the family will say, "Oh, okay, the cat got $10 million and we have nothing." He really had $10 million?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if the cat should die before his owner, the money should go to the nephews. And so if the cat dies,
the owner gives the house. It's like he has a house, a $1 million house, and he gives the house, but he says, "DX owns the house. You only are paying rent to the cat." So, anyways,
oh boy, hard to believe people really do that. Actually,
yeah, that's.
I think I would just
that's
pick the
crazy.
phone book and pick random names.
Yes, the FRG. Yes, the FRG7 is a great receiver if you get one. Amfests are great places to get one cheap. What else do we have?
15
One Amigo. Nice to have you on board.
156110. What is it?
That's WWN, the Catholic station.
Okay.
Talking about Jesus.
Okay. I don't hear much, but I do hear it through the noise.
Yeah, it's probably a little weaker than usual now. But during the daytime, it's like one of those regular stations.
Okay, cool.
But
Anyone saying anything interesting on the other chat room?
the cat gets 9,000 subs. Yeah. No, the other chat room is quiet right now. So nothing happening there. Anyone else know more details about the brand new transmitters at WBCQ in construction? I don't have a lot of news. I think the best place to check for the news is the WBCQ website. But you know what? That's good news because...
I will not tell you what's on 15770.
Oh, that's Brother Stare. The Earth is 6,000 years old, and you know that.
Dinosaurs are made of papers?
Are made up. We make them up. Something humming on 9900, that's Cairo for sure. So what's cute about WBCQ, what's good news about that, is really that if they are building new transmitters, it means that they are actually getting there in the donations that they were asking before. And I think it's good news for the future of WBCQ right now. And of course, more transmitters to rent time on, where I really need to find a way to have a regular show on. It's just so cheap that I should have a couple of hours there. It'd be actually fun to broadcast these live shows, the audio part, on WBCQ Live as we're going. That'd be cool.
In fact, you should find a way to broadcast every of your shows, live or not, on other platforms to get a bigger audience.
Yeah, for sure.
Android, podcast on iOS.
A lot of people in the chat room, or a lot of the viewers, tell me that they listen to my podcast, like they download the audio with some kind of YouTube tool to download, and they listen to me in their cars or at work or
so you should
doing their jogging.
Making it available on iTunes or Androids, even though it brings no money, could be a bigger audience.
When are you starting the official DX the Cat channel? You know what? I'm about to start a channel called Paul. It's just gonna be Paul the Cat. And now Paul the Cat.
9915.
9915 is the BBC. It's in English probably, and it should be the BBC. Yep. BBC from Ascension Islands in the South Atlantic Ocean.
Oh,
Transmitter site.
that's nice.
So it's kind of a faraway place.
Nice.
And this is the West African service.
Oh.
That's usually, when propagation's not too bad, that's usually the one that you can listen to at this time. I almost wondering if it's not news hour right now.
Mm-hmm.
But the BBC is coming in well now. 99.15 BBC World Service. 9915.
This is disturbing for the ear to only have one at a time.
Yeah, that it is.
Oh.
It is kind of weird. Especially when you have one for an hour and you take it off and now you notice that you're deaf from one ear. So let's, I'm going to try the easy tuning one here.
All right.
Do its job.
Let's drink more
And
vodka.
let's drink more vodka with juice in it. And
or juice with vodka. As the ice is melting, it gets better.
I was about to say the same thing. Oh man. Do you attend the Dayton Convention? Can you interview people? No, I've never been to the Dayton Convention. There's also the Shortwave Festival near Philadelphia. These are things that would be really, really nice to attend and to, maybe interview people for the channel.
I only attend Japanese convention. I'm sorry.
It's kind of cool. It's kind of cool, and that would be fun, And I think I'm pressing the. Sorry, guys. I think I'm pressing the. Here we go.
What did you do?
Actually,
you pressed the space bar for 537 characters.
Something like that.
Seriously?
Out of 200.
Oh my god.
Here we go. We're going back in time. So yeah, good for WBCQ, for sure. And
just go back to and do like an emoji at the end.
Okay. Yeah.
Doesn't do anything.
Well, it's at 0 now.
Okay.
So it's okay.
Okay. You just do an emoji and it appears 200 characters later.
Yeah, I should. Yeah. So, any shortwave schedules apps for Windows 10 Store
from
app?
Cosmos stuff. What radio would you recommend?
I've seen a few apps for Windows 10 that are amateur radio related, but nothing for shortwave.
What radio would you recommend to Cosmos stuff?
Cosmos stuff. What radio would I recommend? Well, it depends the money you have to pay and you have to put on it, the budget you got.
Texon are really nice.
Well, Texan
for
receivers.
their price,
For the price, the Texan receivers are great.
The one I have at home is for $50.
It's about 60, 65
the
now.
PL 550.
450.
450 is.
It's an amazing receiver.
Amazing.
It's an amazing receiver.
For the price, I get almost as much as a big radio,
But don't overlook maybe older tabletop models that would be used but works well.
Of course.
You just gotta make sure that they work well because some people are not really nice and sell crappy radios.
But overall, it's the price you're ready to pay, and
Texan receivers are good. Check that out. These are interesting.
15. Yeah, I've got it. Yeah, we talked about it fast load.
The Texan PL 380 is great. That's true. Like Bobby says. Yep, 9915, which is the BBC World Service from Ascension Islands. And hello there, fast load. 9915 is S5 in Western New York. Richard Tribble says 9915 is S9 plus 15 there. Pretty cool. And
nice.
I believe they moved the convention to another place, Patrick, if I'm not mistaken. I had heard they had moved to another location now, if I'm not mistaken. What else? Hamfests are great, by the way, for cheap receivers that from that work well. Good old tabletops from older times. Pretty cool. Really, really nice.
Let's keep checking.
Watershed says, if she'll broadcast his live shows on WBCQ, I will be tuning in and donating. Okay, well, it's all that's missing is the money to do it. If I can secure, enough regular donations, I will broadcast over WBCQ. No problem there. I'll be happy to do it. CS Strut 90. I use a realistic DX150A. I never know what frequency I'm actually on. Yeah, because it's analog. these analog radios, it's always that, you know, it's a hit or miss. You have to guess where you're on exactly. See you later, Cullingham. Take care. Always nice to have you here. So, after
9420.
Greece.
After
a easy tuning mode using just telescopic, it stopped on 17855 Radio Estéreo España.
Of course. Wow. It's like listening to regular radio, seriously.
15770 with some music right now, which is technically WRMI in Florida. I had Brothers there earlier. Spain on 15520.
15520?
Yep.
Yeah, hearing it.
WTWW in French on 12105.
Oh yeah, I heard it before.
Dans les livres de la loi, nous avons appris que le Messie vivra pour toujours. Alors, comment peux-tu dire on doit placer le Fils de l'homme en haut? Ce Fils de l'homme, qui est?
We understand what he's saying. That's why we are discouraged.
12050. WEWN in Spanish, but the audio is low. 11775, which is Caribbean Beacon of the island of Anguilla with almost very crappy audio. They've been having really bad transmitters. 9980 kilohertz WWCR.
Within the IT, within the technology in the government is huge.
With some kind of conspiracy theory show in the Alex Jones style. The government is controlling us, and
small sectors that we've gone into, and we've been able to save a few million within a couple of weeks.
Then we have nothing there.
Down.
9565 Radio Marti in Spanish.
Yeah.
Radio Marti presenta.
I understood that.
I understand a little more since I've been enjoying some coffee break Spanish on my phone.
Well, I'm about to be able to listen to
Radio Japan in Japanese.
Almost.
That's good. That's good. You know, you should, because in the evening they have a North American service that is really strong. Really strong. You should brush up on your Japanese.
You know, I always get surprised whenever I listen to a song in Japanese, actually, and every time there's something new. I understand a little bit more. It's just cool.
So we are an hour and a half already into a show almost.
Yeah,
and you're watching,
and a glass and a half worth
and
of
a bottle and a half of vodka. So cheers.
It's scary to think that I bought the bottle yesterday and it's already half empty.
That's you know,
our family.
Don't ask questions.
That's our family.
It's our genetic mutations.
Our genetic legacy.
Yeah, genetic legacy. That's it. So
goes all the way back to the first tornado in America.
West P, hello there. I use the Yaesu FRG 100. It works really good, but I'm a ham operator,
Slovakia,
so I have a
11580
Kenwood TS2000 and a Yaesu FT1000 MP Mark V. These are great radios.
I do hear a little bit. I hear something on 11580.
Yeah, usually that's WRMI. Yeah.
But that sounds more like Slovakia to me.
Yes, but they have relays of different stations. So right now it's probably the relay of Radio Slovakia.
That's cool.
Slovakia.
That is really cool.
Slovakia, I said. Slovakia. Radio Slovakia?
That's Greek.
Radio Slovakia. Man.
Slovakia.
So
I don't listen often, so actually that's the first time I hear Slovakia.
11580 for anybody in North America is a frequency to listen to regularly throughout the evening. It has so many different transmissions. It has relays of Radio Ukraine, Radio Slovakia, Radio Prague, PCJ Radio. They also PCJ, not PC Jail. PCJ Radio out of Taiwan. They also have, depending on the day of the week, different shows. So they also have, World Radio. They have the AWR wave scan, which are always interesting to listen to for, news of what's happening in the shortwave spectrum. And so, hey, this is the Shortwave Show coming to you from Montreal, Quebec, Canada. Gilles here. My nephew, Gabriel, newbie, tuning around the Stangian ATS 505.
We were always enjoying this.
What radio you had last time? Remember?
It was, I believe, the PL 600.
Okay.
I believe it was that.
Okay.
Because it was similar to the one I have home, so it's like, okay.
I should turn it on. I brought this big radio, the Grundig S450 DLX. So I should, put this one away. It doesn't have single sideband, but I should put this one away for a second and tune this really big radio around to see if I can hear some stuff.
By the way, a little anecdote here. With the PL 450 that I have home.
Yep.
I don't know how, but whenever I would put it in my backpack, it would somehow, the sleep button, the alarm button would be pressed in a way, and the alarm would just, get set. Yeah. And sometime I would wake up at 2 a.m. in the morning at the sound of...
That's nice.
2 a.m.
That's why there's a lock button on the radio. You should set it before you put it in the backpack.
I remember once my mother telling me we removed the battery because it even woke us up.
Simultaneous internet stream at WRMI.net. And you can find us online at bluesradiointernational.net. I'm Jesse Finkelstein.
So Blues Radio International starting on WRMI 11580.
In the next half hour, we'll travel to South Florida for a live performance by pianist, singer-songwriter Marshall Paul.
So not bad. Blues Radio International starting on WRMI. So 11580 is a great frequency to tune regularly, for sure. And what else? I just wanted to. I'm gonna go back a little bit. Okay, so David says, "Great to see your Spanish is brushing up. I would actually like to learn Chinese, and the idea is quite mature in my head. As soon as I'm not as busy, it's likely that I'll take it up."
I am learning Japanese actually.
He's learning Japanese.
I did Japanese 1 and 2 at university, and these are the only class which I got an A+.
He actually even sings Japanese songs at the karaoke.
I do, and I won't sing them here, but I could. I don't know what's the scariest part, the fact that I know these songs, or that I know them by heart.
What's funny is, when there's a lot of people at the karaoke bar, and he starts that Japanese song, and just the face of everybody in the room.
What the heck is going on?
What the hell is that guy singing? So, or sometimes, there's people that I know, and it's like, what? Oh, yeah.
Konnichiwa minasan, dozo yoroshiku onegai shimasu.
Okay, well, whatever.
Nani? Nihongo ga wakarimasen?
I don't know. I have no idea. So, Watershed 44, it says he would definitely recommend buying a used shortwave receiver at the Hamfest over eBay. Oh yeah, for sure. But even at AFest, you got to be careful because some of them are not super honest. I can tell you that. What else?
Hey, hi Douglas Elliott.
Yeah, Douglas Elliott. Hello there. Nice to have you here.
David Snyder.
Pretty cool. David Snyder, hello there. Just finishing work. 7490.
Mick.
The 7490 is WBCQ, David Snyder, not WWCR. 7490 is WBCQ. 30 dB. Can you hear it on his ICOM R75 on Global Tuners? So it's true. You got your receiver on Global Tuners. Kind of cool. Scotty Tier 6 says, months ago picked up a DX394 and a DSP40, $60. Working great. What a deal. Really cool. That's pretty cool, actually. 11580, that is WRMI in that has its transmitter site in Okeechobee, Florida. Really nice. Richard Cook's receiving a WRMI out in the UK. Not bad, not bad. R75, a used R75 for 350 is not bad at all of a deal, I gotta tell you. Richard Tribble says, 2 only songs in foreign languages totally sung in my respective languages. Dominic, Nick, and another Japanese song. Okay. Man. Gerald is listening to a local repeater on 443-05075. Yeah, the Grundig Satellite 800 is nice receiver. I remember when I saw a Grundig Satellite 800 at a client's that I went to fix a computer, and that is a really expensive, big radio, okay? And I remember that guy was only listening to local CBC, Radio Canada, on it, and that's it, nothing else. And it actually has shortwave and everything on it. And I remember telling him, well, you can listen to stations from around the world on that. And even telling him, well, if someday you want to kind of, change or that radio for something else, I could help you trade for something. Especially for listening to the CBC only.
I'll give you my PL450.
It's I'll give you this one. It has a big speaker. You'll have great time listening to the CBC with this. And it's
you'll just buy a new one.
This one is like 10 times lower price than the
one he had.
The one he had. So, but it's sad because you see these people with these great receivers and they just don't use it for anything. Really sad.
7285 through the noise.
That I think is China Radio International.
Okay, really not hearing much. Just brr, 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 but through the noise.
Well, that is enough.
That is enough to say, oh my God, it comes from China.
Let's check it out here. 7285. Yeah, it's very noisy, but that is, I believe.
Could there be something on 7185?
7185.
Maybe an amateur?
Something weird happening here. What the hell? Why is not tuning correctly? This is bizarre. Some kind of weird. This is weird.
If you go the other way, turn it the other way.
Yeah, but
turn it the other way.
Yes, but it should go down when I go here.
Okay, it just goes up.
It goes up. It doesn't go down. That's weird. Okay, I'll just so 7185 you said?
Yeah.
Let me just check that out.
There was something. Maybe an amateur because it
could
goes on and off and on and off.
It could be an amateur radio operator.
Now there's nothing but.
Trying to check out here. Oh, WBCQ is actually coming better now on 7490.
Really strong.
Not much.
It must be that old time music. I like to listen to that kind of music on an old tube shortwave radio.
Can you imagine the War of the World playing?
Yeah, jumping out the window, thinking that the Martians have attacked.
At the time, people were so sure it was real.
Triangulus says, not sure if any of you know, but going to be testing a Sony AN LP1 indoor loop. Should I find a window in a room that has the least noise with simple measurement using... well, you'll already have less noise in a loop antenna, first of all. But of course, if you can be close to a window, it can help you for sure. And, go around your home. Just experiment because it's surprising where you can have less or more noise. Mm-hmm. For example, here, if we would really want to have the least noise possible, we'd actually have to be in the kitchen now with our receivers and broadcasting from the dishwasher, and that would be where the least noise is in my home right now. And actually, I always put a portable receiver on the dishwasher near the window when I actually cook to listen to shortwave stations.
In my place, you know what's funny? There is more noise in the kitchen than in my room.
Yeah, it depends, and it depends on what there is.
Yeah.
Also, your neighbors sometimes, it could be. That's the biggest problem is often the noise that you got isn't necessarily in your home. The neighbors might have some electronics that makes noise. Here, like I always say, once we had a power outage. Here, no power. The other side of the street, no power. But in the back, everybody had power. And I turned on my icon receiver to notice that I had as much noise as I usually have.
So
that shows us that the noise doesn't come from here. It comes from some neighbor on the other side in the backyard. Pretty much.
We might be doing radios too.
What?
We might be also doing radio.
Well, I
or
look
not.
more like an extraterrestrial when I get on with my radio, so I don't know. Hey, Jerry Rogers, Natalie Net on 7185, so it could be a net on 7185. For sure.
Try DXing your hospital. Yeah,
yeah,
right.
For sure. You need to.
Right.
The best is to try the receiver. It's like when I bought my Kenwood R5000 from. It was a used receiver. Of course, I tried it out before. I needed to try it and listen to some shortwave signals before I could bring it home and say, yeah, okay, it's a good receiver. Scotty Tier 6 says the CBC, the Canadian Broadcasting Castration. Oh, man.
Not far from that.
So, what else do we have? Yeah, 7200 LSB is always that. There's always the nut job frequency. That's a nut job frequency.
Oh, sorry, Richard. I don't know that song. Sukiyaki by Kyu Sakamoto. I don't know.
In 1963, it's an old song.
No, that's
really an old song.
I don't know that much. Many of the Japanese songs I'm listening to are from anime stuff. But I did see a few Japanese rock shows at the conventions I go.
Okay.
And the last one, it was funny because I listened to the group's top 20 10 times in a row.
Yeah.
And I was there jumping and singing, and everyone was kind of looking at me like, really? You know that?
All I gotta say, is that he loves Duran Duran, and I've been a big fan of Duran Duran forever. And the funniest thing about that is that
last year
when we went to see Duran Duran, he actually was jumping around everywhere and enjoying all the songs that I didn't even know.
But I knew
the new album, but he knew all of them. Not only was he jumping around, he was actually singing them at the same time. And I'm like, okay, that's okay. He knows the songs I don't even know. So, it gives you an idea. Just gonna check back here for a second.
Come on, Scotty.
Triangulus says, I figured I would keep the loop on the window facing the back, which leads to more of an open area and forest behind. But every time I put the radio near the window on that side, it seems to be picking up more noise on a dead frequency. Yeah, don't look too much at the fact that there's a forest or an open field in the way and houses the other way. It doesn't impact that much what you'll receive because your shortwave is mostly skywave, signals coming from up. And choose the place where you have least noise. Just, don't really care about what the window where it's facing, basically. It doesn't matter much. But simply choose a room. We all have, a room that's a little quieter. And here it's really a little quieter.
Probably not my living room.
But, it's amazing to it's the fun part also to check that out. Can you try 11635 for that Cuban number, lady, if you're hearing it? So it should be some kind of digital sound and the Cuban lady mixed in together. I'm gonna check it out here if I can see it. Okay.
No.
Check it out.
Not really.
Oh yeah, she is there.
I don't hear on this one. You do, but I don't. No, I don't on the Sengen. Sengen?
It's not It's not very strong.
No, it's
11635. The Cuban ladies there.
But no, I don't hear it on the ATS 505. Oh, really?
9490 kilohertz. No, I think it's still there, Richard.
Alright, so you guys are insisting. I will listen to Sukiyaki by whoever the guy was, Q Matamoto.
Hey there, Andy Tobin.
I will listen to it because you insist.
Nice to have you here, Andy Tobin. Really cool to have you on board, like everybody. Really nice. How many people we are watching right now?
58 on YouTube.
So
58 on the chat room of YouTube.
Not bad, not bad.
Yeah, nice.
So what was 9490? Checked it earlier.
Yeah, we did.
I don't remember. Sounds like Spanish. 9490 right now
is
2145. Voice of America
in BM.
In BM.
In BMW?
Another African language of some sort.
What is BM?
And it's from the Ascension Island transmitter site.
Let's
ask, quite well.
Let's ask our friend Google. So
this sounds exotic.
BM language abbreviations.
9530 kilohertz, pretty strong. 9530 kilohertz is
Bahasa Melayu, an Austronesian language.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know. What is
Radio Muhifra Akbar Mufriha from it's HCJB from Ascension Islands on.
Oh, it would be a language around Singapore.
Well, it's for Africa, so it should be a language for Africa.
Okay.
Yeah, you must have. We should look at the text file that they have on that website.
Yeah, we should.
This sounds exotic.
Let's see.
So 9530 kilohertz, HCJB Radio Akbar. A 30-minute broadcast from HCJB, Radio Akbar Mufriha from the Ascension Islands in the South Atlantic Ocean. So not bad of reception on 9530. Pretty cool. And what else do we have? A lot of wall warts are effectively very, very bad with noise. I can tell you that. Those everyone that is a switching power supply is just horrible. So
BM. No, not British Museum. Neither bowel movement.
But I think you have to look at the
Bushmaster.
On EIBI space. There's the let's check it out here. EIBI space. Let's go to the README, conditions, languages, and everything. It has like a million things in there.
Just go down to BM.
So where are the languages, codes?
Just search BM.
Okay, this B. Whoops. I'm not controlling right now. What's happening? Okay, B. J B M Bam
Mali.
Is Bambara
for the Mali.
So Bambara Bamanankan. Okay.
Absolutely.
Of course, you knew that it was that.
Well, yeah, we're just testing you. Hasinia dialect. You lost me at Dahinla.
So 9530. Brett Wayne says it's S9 in Western New York. So pretty cool.
You can hear it here a little bit. Oops.
Check it out. Anything else?
Yeah.
Not very strong, but 9650, which is probably the station from Africa. Radio.
I hear it too with that.
9650 is Radio Guinée. Yeah, Radio Guinée. It should be in French right now. Sometimes it's better than other times.
I believe it is still a French territory.
So, Radio Guinée coming in from Africa.
I believe, is it there that there are a few countries like Guinea or other that if you go, you actually pay in euros.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's still like French territories, you actually use euros even though it's like in the middle of the Pacific.
Okay. Richard Cook says that 9800 Radio Cairo has actually good audio and can hear some music.
Let's see. Radio Cairo. Nope. Here I don't.
There's Radio France 9790.
Yeah.
Radio France International. It has a lot of distortion. We can see that the magnetic field is rather disturbed at this time.
Oh, the sun is coming out again here.
Yeah.
Hello, sun.
Welcome.
Good morning, sun.
Here comes the sun. Da, 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 da. Here comes the sun.
Oh,
That's
no,
our
please.
video blog because I
please
sang. At Christmas, we got our video blog because I sang a Coldplay song.
It kind of reminds me of a Chinese friend.
Oh, man.
I have to stop drinking.
No, continue, please.
Oh, shut up.
More vodka, more vodka. Come on, Igor. More vodka.
You never have enough vodka anyway.
I never have enough alcohol. Oh my God, it's worse. K-index is 5 now. So that means we're kind of in the minor storm levels now. So,
So we are not improving?
No, it's actually getting worse.
Okay.
A K-index of 5. So, that's... For those that don't understand much of these numbers, at least there's one indication that's kind of cool. The numbers change color to tell you if it's bad, good, or, So it could be green, yellow, or red. And, K5 is red.
I like that, at 5 you are already in the bad spot.
So, and look at the auroral zone over the pole right now.
Well, this is
So,
DXing.net. Okay, that's nice to know. I would like to check that
Yep,
for the
so-
aurora sometimes.
So this is the real-time aurora zone, and it's updated quite regularly.
Not reaching Montreal for sure.
Montreal is down here, so we're
Let's-
kind of far of it.
Let's forget it.
And to give you an idea, every time that I've seen auroras in Montreal, the K here was at 7 or more.
Or worse.
So 7, 8, or 9.
Oh god.
9, you see auroras. 8, pretty short. 7, you got to look sometimes and look, in the north direction and have a clear sky, of course.
Okay.
But 8 or 9, you see them, that's for sure.
Okay, I'm gonna take that website and note.
So the solar wind right now is really not helping at all. And by the way, look, there's even a scale. So you see here the colors.
Yeah.
And here there's the scale. Probability of visible auroras. So if Montreal gets in, for example, the green, you can see that it, depending on the color,
1 out of 2 maybe.
you'll have a percentage of, how
DX.QSL. Oops, not XX, but D.
xx.qsl.net. That's a porn site.
Probably. It's like here we have the the college Bois de Boulogne.
Yeah.
If you just go on boisdeboulogne.com, it's a porn site.
Okay.
In high school, what do you think people do on the computer? You're like, oh, boisdeboulogne.com. Oh, it's not a college website. Oops.
So the BBC still coming in well on 99.15 from Ascension Islands.
And by the way, it's quite of a cheap porn site.
Cheap porn site.
And they support the health of the...
Sorry.
Okay.
Woo, I'm getting...
We're getting drunk.
Yeah, kinda.
It's not over. We still have 4 hours to go.
In 4 hours...
BBC is also coming
I will be going to bed in 4 hours.
The BBC is also coming in on 11810 right now. 11810 via Ascension Islands also. So, hey, Oxford Shortwave log, nice to have you here. He's got Guinea on 9650 with this Sony ICF 1001D and the AN71 real antenna. Cool. David Snyder, 9350 WWCR 30 dB in Staten Island. Yeah, usually makes a pretty good frequency here. PK47, hello there, nice to have you on board. Yeah, XNXX. We're not gonna go there. So there may be E-skip on 6 meters this weekend. I'll have to check that out. So Fastload says I can come and help you with the vodka. No, we're afraid we're gonna miss. We're not gonna have enough for tonight.
Well, if you really drink all that's left, I'll pay you back the bottle if you drink all that's left right now.
No, I think I'm gonna just. Anything else here?
Oh god, just resting my ears a little bit because it's really weird to hear.
You want to try some single sideband stuff?
Yeah, how do you do that with this?
Okay, you have to put it in single sideband here, I think.
Oh, it's
yeah.
it's on this
now it's
side.
red.
It's on this side.
Yeah. So you see now it's red.
Okay,
so that switch puts it on or off. And I would suggest that you try maybe upwards from here.
Upwards from there.
Up to 7300.
Okay.
And and the fine tune for the okay, here's the annoying thing. Okay, I'm going to show you this. This is the most annoying thing in this radio. So when you tune in 5 kilohertz.
Yeah.
Right? But here, you can press in the middle here, which means now you're at 1.
Okay.
But if you touch any button, you'll have to do it again because this goes back to 5.
Okay.
It's the stupidest thing I've ever seen for a radio. But try it out, and here's the fine tuning is here. So when you hear something to adjust, the fine tuning is here, and I think there's a dent. Oh, there's no dent in the middle. Oh, it's sand. Yes, there is. Here. You'll see that when you turn, there's a little dent.
Okay.
When you're there, it's smack in the middle. That's where you should be. And if you hear something you want to tune, check it out with that. So I don't know if you'll hear anything, but
oh, I do.
12095 BBC also coming in right now. 12095 from Ascension Islands. Richard Tribble says 9350 is 9. So what's the sunspot number today? I don't know what's the sunspot number, but the solar flux is 82. So sunspot number, I'd have to go. Do you have the sunspot number here? Yep. No, I don't have it here, right? Here I got only solar flux data. Sunspot number, we have to go to solarham.net. The sunspot number is 26, and the geomagnetic field right now is in storm level. So you see it, storm.
That's not good. Or is it?
So, well, not for shortwave. And
I feel like I'm hearing Star Trek here.
Anything else? And this is the fantastic graph of our geomagnetic field going crazy right now. So it shows you that it's not the best night for DXing. Can tell you that. What else do we have? Red Wayne says 12095 S8 in Western New York.
I've got a question.
Yeah.
What is the difference between all these meter length sidebands? You know, like 15 meter.
Oh, okay.
Or,
why? Okay.
What?
Okay. Because.
What is that?
Okay. Frequencies.
What is that?
Okay. Radio frequencies have a length. So it is stated in centimeters or meters. So there's a wavelength. Every electromagnetic signal, okay, be it light, be it radio signals of all kinds, have a length.
Okay.
And so in the shortwave, and that's why they call it shortwave,
Mm-hmm.
Because when we started radio way back in the 1920s, transmitters back then we didn't have the electronics to have high frequencies. So the first transmitters were really low frequencies, and they were in the kilohertz, which like 100, 200, 300 kilohertz.
Yeah.
That was called long wave because at these low frequencies, the wavelength, so if you measure the wave, it's actually kilometer long waves. It's really huge.
Okay.
Then you have medium wave, and as you go up in frequency, the wavelength is smaller and smaller, and the impact on that is the antenna. So that means the longer the wavelength, which means the lower the frequency, the bigger the antenna you need if you want to have the best reception.
Okay.
Okay. So for example, in the frequency that I give you here, 7 megahertz, is like the 41 meter band.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The amateur radio operators will call it a 40 meter band. That means around 7 megahertz, somewhere there, the perfect antenna would have to be 40 meters long.
Oh, okay.
To resonate with the frequency you're listening to. It would actually give you the best reception possible.
Okay.
Okay? But in practice, having 40 meter long antennas is not
only you got
the
that
best.
around here.
Well, I've got 22 meters in my backyard.
60 feet here.
So the thing is, you can actually have your antenna resonate also in fractions. So you can have a quarter wave antenna.
Okay.
Which will be 1/4 of, so instead of 40 meters, you'll have a 10 meter long antenna. It would still resonate because of, the calculations. When you do the calculations, it resonates at specific places. So a quarter wave antenna would still resonate. Not as well as the full thing.
Of course.
But still, it's better than nothing. It's better than not being in it. So if for reception on shortwave, it's not super important. It is, but not, super. But when you transmit, extremely important that your transmitter be tuned to the correct length. Because if you transmit 100 watts and you are not tuned, a lot of that energy is lost. A lot of it is lost by staying stuck inside your radio.
Okay.
And that means your electronics will overheat.
Okay.
So you can actually blow a transmitter by not tuning it. So there are all sorts of things.
Okay.
There's all sorts of things that you can use today. There's antenna tuners, which are little boxes that simply look at your antenna, says, okay, that resonates there, but you're transmitting here. So we're gonna, just tune that to resonate correctly there by using, coils and all sorts of little things like that.
Okay.
So every radio frequency has length, and the actual calculation is something like 300 divided by the frequency in megahertz.
Oh.
Okay, it's not exactly 300. It's like 299. It's actually the speed of light.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, ask my brother.
So 300. So for example, if you're listening to 10 megahertz, 300 divided by 10 megahertz is a 30 meter wavelength. Okay. And it's really the size of the electromagnetic pulse that's coming at you. It's really the resonation. It resonates at that size basically. It's very unique that we can put a size to a frequency. But,
something that we don't see.
Yeah. So the higher you go in frequency, the smaller the antenna you need. And an example of that is if you look at antennas that transmit in very high UHF frequencies, you might see that the elements are this big because now at that very high frequency, it's only centimeters long.
Mm-hmm.
So it's smaller and smaller as you go high in frequency, which is more practical.
So our cell phones must be transmitting in quite high frequencies then.
Our cell phones here are on the 1.9 gigahertz frequency, 1,900 megahertz.
That's high enough to me.
So imagine here we're in 7, 8, 9, 10 megahertz. Your phone is on 1,900 megahertz. And so, of course, the antenna inside it to resonate can be very, very small. So let's check that out. Apparently there's AWR Wavescan 11580 right now. Yep.
Third time, Trivandrum missed out.
So for you that don't know what that is, AWR Wavescan is a radio-related program. So, for anybody that listens a lot to the shortwave radio bands, well, they give news of all sorts of things that they've heard, news on radio stations that might have frequencies or go off the air.
Cool.
And in half an hour, there's World of Radio, which is Glenn Hauser is a very well-known DXer and radio fan. He's been doing World of Radio show for at least 25 years at least. And so in half an hour, there's World of Radio. And actually, a link that I have to that is I am on the DX Listening Digest Yahoo group, which is owned by is Glenn Hauser. And of course, he kindly lets me post my radio shows there to have maximum number of people.
Cool.
Let's just check it out. Apparently 17840 would be 480, sorry. 17480. I'm not hearing him, but the Cuban numbers should be there, but I'm not hearing the Cuban numbers. So
we've passed the 2-hour mark.
Made a personal comment.
Yes, 2 hours and 5 minutes now.
6.
6. Well.
And 9 seconds.
Well, yeah, of course, because we started a little before, but technically. So I'm not hearing HM01, the Cuban lady, for sure.
And not hearing any much on the sideband, single sideband.
Try 14100 and go up from there to see if you hear something else.
14100?
Yeah.
Okay.
14100. Oh, it's on 10715 today. That's why we're not hearing it. Okay. So it's 10715 for the Cuban numbers. Let's check out both chat rooms here. Hey, yes, Shortwave listening. What's the website I'm looking at? Well, actually, I'm. Okay, yeah, Scotty Tier 6 has sent the link to the Japanese thing that he wants you to listen to.
What?
The Japanese song or something in that chat room.
HM01 reminds me of Pokemon.
No, it's in
not.
radio terms, it's Cuban numbers. Cuban numbers. What's the website I'm looking at? Well, I'm looking at the chat room here, but eibispace.de for the schedules. eibispace.de is where I really check the schedules and what stations we might be hearing.
There's.
Yep, exactly, like Fastload says. Why the holes in the door of a microwave are smaller than the wavelength used, so that you don't get, microwaves all over you. Danny Shortwave would love to run about 300 feet of wire up that hill on my backyard, but I have to place up high so not to piss off my neighbor and not call the city to remove it. Yeah, I'd like for once to try something I've never tried, what's called a beverage, which is a 1,000 feet long antenna.
It's not a drink?
And also it's a drink.
You got your beverage.
I got my beverage. Okay, sorry, I didn't know.
And I'm emptying a second glass, and with the refill I gave you, you're only at 1.5.
Yeah. So would you kindly fill us up? What do you think?
I guess I should.
I guess you should.
Oh my god.
So
I'm getting drunk here.
That's okay. You can sleep.
I want what I was thinking.
You can sleep, so we can do all sorts of jokes while you're sleeping, and you don't know what you look like on the internet. So I'm not even sure I can get up off the couch anymore.
That's because you're fat.
Oh, go to hell.
I already am.
Well, you're ugly. So, anyways.
So big.
Yeah, right. Did you really say that live on the internet now? You know that internet?
What
So,
is internet?
it's apparently like tubes. Somebody once mentioned it was tubes. And we can fill up the tubes. Triangle says, I remember your aero emergency video. Well, yeah, that was interesting. Yes, it was random scanning. You know, that's one thing you got to do with shortwave is do a lot of random scanning of the bands everywhere. I always say if you want to have the best experience, it's to tune around every frequency, including the frequencies you never hear anything, because one day you will hear something. That's, you know, there's a lot of stuff there, and it's just that you need to be there at the right place at the right time because of the sporadic side to a lot of the signals. You know, you can go on a frequency range, never hear nothing, because at the moment you're there, there's no signals. But one day, you know, you'll by chance arrive to a point where you will hear something, and it's just going to be, you know, it's going to be that moment, that cool moment of, hey, that's cool, I'm hearing that thing. You know, it's really fun for that. But you know, a lot of the stuff that I find is by chance, tuning around and, you know, stumbling by chance. For the Cuban number lady, there's a website called Priam PR. What's the let me just check it out here. What is their just trying to remember that Priam PRYIOM. Let me just check it out here for a second. I think it's PRYOM, priom.org, priom.org. There you have a little square in the middle of the screen that is the number station schedule, and you have everything here. And you can even check the schedule of a lot of number stations. Thanks, Triangulus, for posting it. It's a great resource for number stations of different areas. There's a lot of number stations still active, so it's very important. That's a great website for all of the frequencies, basically. As the King says, shortwave listening is great, but listening to religious stations from Florida area is annoying. You know what? All I got to say as the King about that is that you just don't listen to the religious stations and ignore them. You know, you can. There's a gazillion frequencies on our radio. And, you know, like I always say, I am not a religious person, so I do not listen to those broadcasts. But you got to think that, you know, WRMI, for example, has a lot of relays because there's a lot of money coming in from, you know, Brother Stair, and that keeps the station running. And it's part of, you know, it's shortwave. That's shortwave, and that's it. So, you know, it depends. So priom.org is a great website for listening in.
Radio, a great place to do it.
So AWR wave scan's coming in really well on my. So by the way, I'm just going to show you guys the receiver here, the S450 DLX field radio from Grandig. So this is a very big radio, and it's actually very heavy with D batteries inside it. So sort of the little radios I kind of like. It's okay, you know, it's not the best, but it works well. So thank you very much, my friend.
You're welcome.
It smells more like vodka than anything else.
I don't care.
So, anyways, cheers.
Yeah, it was just cold in my hand.
Cheers.
Cheers.
So this is kind of full.
Yeah, so you shut up and drink.
Okay.
Not too bad.
Not too bad. We're about the same then? Okay.
I think so.
Okay.
Honorary amateur operator status.
Okay. 7550 All India Radio. Check it out here. 7550.
Okay, so
Check it out. 7550. I'll try to get it. I know that it usually comes in regularly well here. Something weak. But 9445. Oh god, you gotta listen to that. That is Indian music to its best.
isn't that like an elephant making love?
You gotta listen to that. Put your earphones on and listen to that for at least 2 minutes.
What's the frequency?
9445.
9445.
It's that time when India has its really unique Indian music. Okay, you can't say you hear that every day. I mean, it's just amazing. It's just amazing, and it feels really. It feels really.
Feels like Indiana Jones.
Oh man, Watershed 44 says Gilles Gabriel approaching honorary amateur operator status. Lots of booze and hilarious comments. And,
You need umbrellas for your drinks. Yeah, we should.
Yeah, we should make umbrellas. Yes. You should. The bar where we go don't have umbrellas, eh?
Dollar store.
Yeah, we'll go to the dollar store get some umbrellas. That would be good.
Carnatic Indian music.
9830 is Voice of Turkey in English, usually at this time. It actually has very good modulation, Fasla. Really. This is Voice of Turkey, 9830 kilohertz.
1. Protecting its strategic dominance in the Middle East. 2. Continuation of the monopoly control over oil and gas reserves. And 3. Safety of Israel. President Trump added another 3 pillars. Expanding U.S. territorial dominance and influence.
Surprise, surprise, they're talking about Trump.
And fight against Daesh. When I look into the political and strategic footprint of the U.S. attack, we can say that it has a vast geographical intellect. The earlier message was that the U.S. policy was going to get tough, and the tariff policy followed by Obama will be turned into an eagle policy consisting the use of military force. This message is not only aimed at Assad, but at Russia, Iran, China, and North Korea. Tough response and accusations from Russia and Iran to the U.S. attack increase the political tension and geopolitical risk.
A good signal from Turkey, 9830. Turkey's getting scary with that vote, and that they want the government to have more powers, and I'm starting to get scared at what Turkey can become.
World War III is gonna be with Donald Trump.
There's a lot of nut jobs out there. I think the more we advance in our world, the more nut jobs are in power. I don't know why.
Because it's the stupidest we get.
Yeah, I don't know. So Voice of Turkey, pretty good, 9830. What else? Insane Shouting. Oh yeah, that preacher on 9330. Tune that.
What?
Listen to that preacher. He's just so amazing.
What?
9330.
9330.
I don't know if you're gonna hear it, but he's worth listening. It's the only preacher
Nothing.
You don't hear it?
Nothing.
And that guy is the only preacher that's worth listening if you want to have a laugh.
I believe you told me about it last time.
That's why we call him the screaming preacher.
And to answer Watershed and Scotty, it's true that, because I didn't grow up with these radios, it's relatively hard to get introduced to that. But I think it's pretty cool. It's pretty nice, pretty neat, and
but
just having a bit of fun with.
Think about it.
Who knows everything about something for once.
But you know what? One of the things that is let's ask. I'm going to think about some really down to earth newbie questions here. First of all, if I was not doing this,
yeah,
would you ever did anyone in your life, except me, ever talk about shortwave radio, scanner radio, something like that?
No.
So you would have no idea.
Well, yeah, fast load.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
technically,
but no,
if I wasn't here, you probably would not know him.
Nah, but
Probably.
No, it would never have come into my family.
So you would never have heard.
Probably not.
Because nobody else ever talked to you about that.
Nope.
So that's already the start. I mean, nobody talks about it except, these weird people like us.
Yeah,
and so it's not,
just the fact that just knowing about this to begin with.
Yeah.
It's like, in my loot crate, the little pin was in the shape of a cassette tape. It was like, okay, so anyone who's like under 18 and who bought the loot crate doesn't know what the pin is about. And I barely knew cassette tapes to begin with, by the way.
I think it's, it's like everything in life. I mean, every hobby. Every hobby, you need to know kind of a minimum to really appreciate certain aspects of it,
Yeah.
It's like somebody never played golf. If you say, hey, you got a 7-iron, it's like, what? What are you talking about? What's that?
The length of my... Yes.
Well, that.
It is a 7-iron.
A 7-iron, the golf club. Oh, that's a golf club, yeah. Thought it was baseball. Well, okay, that would be really dumb, somebody saying that, but...
7-iron, you can shoot 135 yards with that.
There you go.
Basically.
Except
on TV.
SDR King says, next question. I love listening to the Voice of Greece on 9420, but it's weak here in Vancouver, BC. Yes, unfortunately, because all the European signals, they have to cross not only here on the East Coast, we're lucky, it's crossing the Atlantic Ocean. And water is always better at propagating radio waves. But once it gets...
Why?
I don't know, there's properties...
Okay.
Okay. There's properties that make water better at propagating radio waves in general.
Okay.
I don't know if why exactly, but
because there's a relay on the Titanic.
It's usually the water area is pretty good, but once it hits land, and for example, you're in Vancouver, so you're in the West Coast, so the signal not only goes over water, it goes over all of North America. It goes through all of Canada. So there are two things that's going against you. The fact that it's going over land for a long distance, and the fact that Greece to Vancouver is really starting to be a big distance.
Well,
and you got to remember that Voice of Greece, probably isn't necessarily always broadcasting in the same general direction that you are located also.
I'm still fascinated by the fact that Radio Japan, who's relayed by Madagascar, and actually Madagascar is farther from Montreal than
that was a funny
Japan.
One. That was a funny one. Yeah, that's probably the thing. SDR King says water has better ground plane, which would explain it basically. Green Bayan Tottenham. Hello there. What else do we have here?
Next time I'll have my computer for the chat room too.
Yeah, why not? So you'll
it's in my bag, but it's in my bag, but I don't have space for it.
Well, you can talk in my name if you want.
No, it's all right.
And or you can set up one of my laptops.
Next time.
So just not that one that makes a lot of noise. Even Tinny, hello there, evening. Nice to have you on board.
John Young.
Pretty cool. John Young, hello there. Radio Toronto was the only crazy station. Now they're everywhere. Yeah, Radio Toronto is gone, so sad. That's another. And by the way, why not do another easy tuning mode?
Oh yeah.
We're using the telescopic. I don't have that radio in my hand for nothing. It's been listening to static for the last half hour. So, why not have it used in something?
Yeah, but signal is so bad today.
So, well, there are some that are
There are
interesting.
some, but compared to last time where we heard everything.
I'm surprised that with a K index of 5 that we're hearing so well Voice of Turkey 9830 right now.
Well, this is probably part of the, kind of random things that can happen in shortwaves.
So can you use your phone and, for example, just tell us, what's the distance from Ankara, Turkey to Montreal?
From Ankara, Turkey to Montreal.
Just out of curiosity. So we'll see that, how far this signal travels, by the way, to come up to here. So this is kind of an interesting thing. That always amazes me anyways on shortwave, that you listen to a signal from really, really far away on the radio bands, basically. So,
let's see. Give me a minute.
Richard Cook is hearing PPE and BPM time stations on 10 megahertz and BPM on 5 megahertz. So, What else do we have here? Anything here that we're just going to check if everything's all right? Okay, so in a few minutes there's going to be World of Radio, which is Glenn Hauser's show for radio on WRMI 11580. Let's wait for the easy tuning mode to get some signals here and see what we can hear. You are watching from Montreal, Quebec, Canada, the Shortwave Radio Show. This is the place where we talk about radio all the time, that we gather, have a bunch of great guys and girls that just interact. And
it's about 8,000 kilometers.
8,000 kilometers. So, not bad.
It's still closer than Madagascar.
Yeah, but still,
25 million.
You're listening to a signal 8,000 kilometers away.
That's
cool.
That's amazing.
It's kind of cool.
That's cool.
I still have yet to have my best DX listening to Jupiter
and
on 21
it's true
megahertz.
that in these countries, technology can be so far back that this is almost top technology in some place.
And many countries around the world, in Asia and in Africa, shortwave radio is still the main way of getting news. And even here, what I find sad about our governments? Well, they're all idiots in general, but they, switch off transmitters from their countries.
Mm-hmm.
And what I always say is, in the days when, say Canada goes to war, the internet is going to be censored. The internet is going to suddenly be different.
Yeah.
Because they have the means of blocking what they don't want us to see. But it's kind of difficult to block shortwave signals. You didn't see that, but in the 80s, Russia was spending billions of dollars in jamming the shortwave bands to make sure that all the Western stations can't be heard in Russia and the USSR, so that the population there doesn't know what's happening for real. And it was amazing. It was really amazing. And you know what? They spent billions, and it's not perfect because shortwave, you see here that shortwave tonight is different than shortwave the last time you were here.
Yeah.
And shortwave is different day to day. So that jamming...
And each frequency is different day to day.
That jamming might work today. But tomorrow you might hear that station they're trying to jam just because everything has changed.
And just using a different frequency, suddenly, I can hear you.
So, you know what? Jamming, of course, China today is using jamming. They're using something called fire drake. Fire drake is like intense Chinese music on a frequency.
Yeah.
And they have at all the time they have 100 frequencies that are jammed with Chinese music.
Yeah.
But still, it doesn't block that station all the time. Some days, yes, it will work. Some days it does not. And I can tell you one thing. Shortwave is something that you cannot block in a efficient way.
Consistent.
In a very efficient way, it's impossible. And the USSR in the 80s, we saw that because the Voice of America, Radio Canada, which were jammed, were heard regularly by Russian listeners. So it's easy to block certain types of transmissions. It's easy to block maybe sometimes populations in big cities, maybe. But I can tell you one thing. It's very difficult to jam shortwave radio signals because it just changes all the time. So, SDR King says, I believe that shortwave radio will be vitally important as a prepper radio and internet radio and be killed instantly when internet goes down.
No.
Tony says, how come you're not a ham radio operator? It's better. Shortwave, just curious. It's just a question of I've never really taken the time to pass my license. In the Industry Canada website, you can actually pass the test just to see if you have the knowledge. The last time I went there, I had like 88%. So it's like, yeah, I've got the ticket if I want it. I just have to pass the test. I got the ticket. It's just, you know what? I like listening. And, maybe someday I'll find the urge to also broadcast. But I like to listen. And, if it happens at some point that, maybe Fastload says he actually wants it. So, maybe we'll do it together. Why not? And but one of the things about amateur radio that I don't want to do is 2 meter stuff in the VHF range, or I find that's like glorified CB that more than anything else. If I'm a ham operator, it's because I want to talk across the world in the amateur radio bands. That's what I want to do. So Glenn Hauser's World of Radio apparently on
Turkey, USA.
Yep.
And the
On.
11580.
Disclaimer last week referring to the medium wave transmitters of Radio Tirana, Albania. I said they were superpower.
And by the way, he mentioned my name 2 weeks ago because I had mentioned that Cuba, by mistake, instead of broadcasting the Cuban numbers on their frequency, actually had the audio of Radio Havana, Cuba. And so it was just so funny because when he actually mentioned that I heard that, he said, he started something like, there's always something funny about Cuba, but one I particularly enjoy from Gilles Letourneau is he heard Radio Havana, Cuba on 10715, the HM01 number station. So it's like,
So there's a spy somewhere who didn't get his numbers.
And it's like, okay, we're wondering from where these transmissions are coming from. At least it seems they might be using the same transmitter site. It's one of those moments that you're like, oh God. So this is probably an absolute must. Anybody that listens to shortwave regularly will want to listen to Glenn Hauser. He's the,
about the pending new low power shortwave
Hubert
station
Reeves
in
of
Australia,
Shortwave
4K
Radio.
Queensland. Bruce McGibbon forwards another post from the SWLing.com blog. Al Curtin, general manager at NQ Radio, as the station is called, shared his details with Thomas Witherspoon. He says NQ Radio operates about 20 AM and FM transmitters in North Queensland. 4KZ.
That reminds me that I should really use that possibility. On the shortwavelistening.com website, I've been given the huge privilege of posting articles if I wanted, which is something that not a lot of people have the privilege to do. And I've not used my privilege yet to post articles, and I should take the time to do it. They took the time to contact me and say, look, would like to have you on board and post articles and talk about the stuff that you do and everything. I really need to. I first need to remember my password to go back there. But I would really need to maybe use that and post a little more there.
You should just click "Forgot my password" to find out that enter your birth date and you didn't set the real one, so you don't remember.
That site is a little more complex because they're scared of people. Hey, santé, fast load. Yes, we are lucky bastards.
Yeah. Oh,
Why not another sip?
Not again.
Yes. We'll be as red as the drink in an hour.
Eating leftover pizza.
And it's Grey Goose vodka.
Oh yeah, of course.
And
Well, might as well buy something good quality
And
instead of the cheap stuff.
And I purchased the bottle finally.
I bought the bottle. He paid it back because he's drinking it all.
You know, he brought it yesterday. We had our beers, and then we started with the vodka and juice while we were retro gaming.
He drank a third of the bottle yesterday.
Finally, you know what? I looked at him and I said, "Look, I'm gonna drink more than you with this bottle anyway, so you know I should pay it back or something."
We could have done half and half. I don't care.
Well, you know, you're here for free on the show, so you know it's a way for me.
You are here for free too.
Well, almost.
And there's already just a third of the bottle left.
So,
by the way.
anyways, there's a third of there won't be any more left tonight.
But that's scary.
There won't be any more left tonight.
Yeah, it's French vodka, Scotty.
So yeah, French vodka.
Depending on where you go, it's always rated like first or second best in the world.
Yeah, it's really, really one of the best.
And you understand why when you just drink it like that.
If you just take, plain vodka, it's really amazing. I gotta say.
Yeah.
You know, before, at the first times we had Moskovskaya.
Moskovskaya, yeah.
And it's not rated too bad, but man.
Or Finlandia.
It's really harsh when you compare that to.
Even the Finlandia is kind of,
Welcome to This Week in Vodka. This week.
This Week in Vodka, sponsored by Sleeman.
Oh my God. SDR King, what's the best desktop HF shortwave receiver economic price? Okay, I would answer two things to that. You can try to find yourself a good old receiver used, and especially at Hamfest, you might have some really amazing receivers used that won't cost too much and will be actually great receivers like the Yaesu FRG7 or an old Kenwood like an old Kenwood R2000 or an ICOM R71 or something like that. You might have it for a price that's not too bad. If you can find one of the really, really great receivers from ICOM, but it's been discontinued recently. The ICOM R75 is an amazing receiver, but it's a little more expensive, even though not as expensive as others, for sure. So, there's you can check out the used receivers or not. I think the one at the bottom.
No, but what would I be hearing at 6090?
Oh, that's the Caribbean beacon in the island of Anguilla. I am a living encyclopedia of frequencies. Somebody once looked at me and said
6115.
That's WWCR. And if it's in Spanish, it's probably Frecuencia al Día. If it's in English, it's some kind of...
could not understand the language.
It's some kind of it's probably Frecuencia al Día. I think it is that at this time. It's... or else it's Alex Jones' nut job with the InfoWars, where the American government is against us, and we have to fight against our governments.
Well, I think we do, but...
And every 10 minutes, he has a promotion for this weird thing. Let's buy this new soap that will protect you from the electromagnetic radiations of nuclear bombs. They even have a hat that you wear that is apparently blocks 100% of your cell phone radio frequencies.
Well, let me try something,
So
let's see. Am I protected now?
I think maybe you would have more electromagnetic radiation.
Well, you never know.
Okay.
Maybe that's the secret of to not be spied on.
And now we're gonna do a real experiment. We would bend over. We'll put the alligator clip in your butt, like at the doctors, except it's an alligator clip. That doesn't sound good. You know what? I'm having goosebumps thinking about it. Oh, man. Alligator clip in my butt. No.
Might actually be better than somewhere else.
Okay.
But still.
The ICOM that I have is the ICOM ICR 8500, which is a wideband receiver. It's discontinued apparently, but you know what? Here in ICOM Canada still has it on sale.
Radio Illuminati 6930?
Yeah, that in Europe, but here you won't hear that. I don't think so.
Nope, I don't hear it here.
So it is a wideband receiver, you know, a long wave to 2 gigahertz. It's an amazing radio. But lately, man, I've been really using the Fedri SDR a lot. I can tell you that. Really a lot.
I'm hearing a Star Trek robot on 7030.
A Star Trek robot.
You know when all you hear are beep 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 beep.
Oh really? Can you repeat what you were hearing? Oh, 7230.
Yeah, somewhere around that. 73.
Oh, 7330.
Yeah, somewhere around that. No, 70, sorry.
Oh, 7030.
7030, yeah.
Okay, that's Morse code that you hear from the amateur bands.
Well, I should learn Morse code someday.
Yeah.
It won't serve me in any way in my life, but I should.
So, well, you never know. You know, Morse code is one of those modes that still goes through the noise when there's a... So,
Fire
easy tuning
signals.
mode.
Fire signals.
Easy tuning mode.
7210, by the way?
That's China Radio International.
Okay,
From the Albania transmitter site. So you're hearing it from Albania.
That's nice.
So, easy tuning mode gave me the annoying woman on 13845 from WWCR. Come on, listen to her talk.
Approached with reverence and respect. You look
Her
at
voice is
what's
annoying.
being said and you
Exactly.
realize God knows how to take care of his people.
Radio Havana, Cuba, 13740.
Oh, I thought it was a Looney Tune team.
Esta es Radio Havana, Cuba. Radio Marti on 11930. And you know what Radio Marti is about?
You told me before.
This is a transmission from the United States directed to Cuba to kind of try to brainwash Cuban people.
Well, I believe they need to somehow.
Oh, well,
half and half. Half and half.
at some point, you know.
Half and half, maybe. And vice versa.
11820 is the Holy Quran from the broadcasting of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia.
Don't listen to that. Right around here, you will get 100 Muslims on their knees in front of you.
Man, it's like, you know, we're living in Saudi Arabia on Chantalon Street.
Well, we live in the little Algeria around here.
Oh, please.
But it's true.
Oh, please.
What? They have to know.
11760. Hey, Radio Havana, Cuba, not very strong. 11580.
Radio Kuwait continues to be heard. Mark Cody in Ontario heard the English broadcast at 2013 UT.
We never have too much vodka.
15540. And noise level permitting, I can hear.
Only
That's a CountyCom GP5 receiver.
what? We never have too much vodka. Only too much juice.
So really strong WRMI on 11580 with Glenn Hauser right now.
There were some unexpected schedule changes for some of the...
Oh, now you are going faster than I am.
Oh. 9830, still Voice of Turkey.
Now, don't try to compete against me.
9760. Yeah, GP5. It's the CountyCom GP5. It is actually the same as the Texan PL365 receiver. Hey, but it's there. I actually like it when he rants against Glenn Hauser, because Glenn Hauser talks about, Brother Staircase, and they just go back and forth. I remember, you know what? One time listening to him and says, Mr. Hauser, I am spending a tremendous amount of money to broadcast on these shortwave frequencies. It's like, yeah.
Yeah, so what? That's your problem if you don't have money.
9420, Voice of Grace.
But, we should really do something like this, like together, but find a way to be through Skype, me at my place, just to see the difference.
Yeah, we could do something like that.
See the difference, just with the noise.
I could do it here, and we'll see you on the TV.
There should be a way to somehow, do something so that everyone could also hear me and.
6115 WWCR.
Because I think that would be interesting.
Yes, absolutely.
And of course, if you had the programs too, you could just switch cameras to me, to them, to you understand what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, one of the things I want to do is at some point get some Skype calls.
Yeah.
Where we could see the viewers, that are watching us.
But this summer in the park, that would be nice too.
This summer, yeah. Oh, we'll do that.
Or from Perry Island, actually.
Oh yeah, of course. But we have to bring all of that, which is local. But I'll do it. We'll do it at least once from Perry Island. But I'd like to do it from the park here. It's not very far. Yeah. It's actually very surprising if we get in the park.
But I want to be there.
I promise. You'll be there.
I want to be there for a live park show.
Yes, there is a over the horizon radar around 9940 all the way up to 9940, 9960. You could hear the over the horizon radar. Very strong. So this is a radar that I believe comes from the Mediterranean Sea. So what is this?
Little inside.
So okay. Alex Jones is like too much. It's like he could be at some point a little interesting, but it's way too much. I mean, come on. Oh, I can tell you, we have a lot of people from from Algeria and all the French language Muslim countries, basically.
Yeah.
Come here.
In our sector, there are a lot.
Where we live here, not very far. Where
it is called the Little Algeria.
It's actually the Little Maghreb.
Yeah, Little
Maghreb. And the thing is that when I was young, there was no Algerians at all here that I knew of.
Even when I went to
high school?
No, before that, primary school.
Primary school?
And elementary school, I should say.
Radar is 9940 to 9960.
It was like, in elementary school, it was like, okay, 75% Canadian and 25% of the rest. And my brother, who's only 3 years younger.
Yeah.
There were only 3, like, white Canadian.
I was
in his class.
At my age, imagine, at my age, when I was in high school, okay, in a class of 30.
High school was 50-50 in my case.
In my case, high school in the class of 30, we were 25 Quebecers or Canadians, like 25 French Canadians and 5, the other 5 were like two from Haiti, one Italian, and I don't know,
Spanish
the other ones,
countries, Latin America.
Latin America, which is totally the reverse today.
Yeah. I was about 50-50, and my brother was like, and my brother was in the minority, literally, and by a large number.
So
But
anyways,
anyway.
that today it's like that the street, the area here, it was really quick. It's like in
in a few
10
years.
in 10 years,
Less than that.
in 10 years it suddenly transformed, and we actually have some mosques here.
Yeah.
There's at least one or two on Jean Talon. There's
Yeah,
one here on Bélanger.
On the 15th Avenue.
It's like,
corner of 15.
It's changed our world, and you know what? It's actually making some tensions here.
Yeah.
A lot of native Quebecois, Canadians.
It's just like it feels like our identity is being attacked in some ways.
And it's very complex what's happening, and I gotta tell you,
we don't want to rant about that because it's a delicate case these days.
But it's not
with
ranting
YouTube.
or anything, but it's
I mean, also for you and YouTube.
makes it very very complex
Yeah.
for sure.
If we do an Anything Goes show, we'll talk about that.
And just talking about the ranting or the things on YouTube, it's surprising, but I had videos on this channel of Saudi Arabia, the voice of the Islamic Republic of Iran, what else? Oman, and you know what? In the past year, I've been receiving little emails saying, "Oh, by the way, that video of Voice of Islamic Republic of Iran, we're sorry, but we have no ads to display on that video." And then it was Saudi Arabia, and then it was like, okay, every time now I post something that is sensitive with Arabic countries, it's like, wow. So, of course, Richard Tribble, he says, watch the news when they showed class in elementary school in Montreal. It's a challenge to find an original Canadian. Absolutely, I can tell you that. I can tell you that.
Yeah. My brother, they were in 6th grade. My brother, they were 3 original Canadian.
It's really changed a lot, It's not. I don't want to be negative about it, but
no, and we're not racist in any ways either.
Absolutely not. You know what? We
are open to everything.
We're pretty open in general here, but even I would say Montrealers are in general very very open to other communities.
Quebecers.
And,
Quebecers.
We've had a lot. I mean, come on. What I enjoy the most, I mean, we've had an opening on our, on the culinary stuff, like, cooking of different foods from different countries. I mean, even when I was young, we didn't have that choice and that possibility. It's kind of cool, but boy, it has changed. I can tell you that.
They said that by 2020, there's going to be less original Canadian in Quebec than immigrants.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's sad.
So,
Change of subject.
No, it's kind of nice. You know what? It's just that there are a few people that are are a little too much. The thing is we're trying to be we are, I think, pretty open in general. There are a few idiots that are not. Like in the other side, all these people coming from Algeria and so on. I think the majority of these people are great people. But there's the occasional idiot. And that's the creating the tension, basically.
If we stop talking about these extreme people, they might stop doing their extreme acts. Because in some way they want attention.
But the news bulletins, that's what they want. They want to talk about the stuff that's happening everywhere.
While there is still so much good stuff happening every day.
Yeah.
But
the news doesn't want to talk about the good stuff.
Of course. That's how they control us. That's how they control us. In a way.
Yeah.
Making us believe that, here we are so much better.
But, 11:850, I do not have anything, KC Red Dragon. Hey, J. Adam, nice to have you here. Most people are okay. It's like, a client of mine that has that goes to different countries around the world all the time, and I was telling she's alone, she's a woman, and I was telling her, isn't it kind of hard to see that
A client or friend?
No, it's a client.
Okay.
A client of mine. She works 6 months. She goes around the world 6 months everywhere.
Oh, that's cool.
And basically, I told her, "Aren't you scared as a woman being alone?" She was telling me how she went to different African countries.
That's it. What
And she came back to me with, you know what? I was waiting for the bus in Chicoutimi, Quebec, and a car stopped, and they tried to rape me. And she said, what I learned in life is that whatever country I am in, there's the same number of good people and the same number of bad people. And that, I almost got raped in Quebec. It could happen to me in an African country, but she was like really convinced that there's no difference in what's good and what's bad pretty much everywhere she went to. And she of course she was on her guard, but she seemed to have a lot, she seemed to have a lot of fun with that. To answer one question that I saw pop up against for the ICOM R75 against the ICOM R8500, I would say that the ICOM 75 probably has a little edge on shortwave. The 8500. I've owned the Kenwood R5000, and when it was in top shape, I can tell you one thing is that the 8500 is good on shortwave, not the best I've ever used. There's a little bit of drawback, and when there's strong signals, the AGC has a little bit of problems. But it's still a great radio. But the ICOM 75, I would say, probably has a little edge that makes it better. Except they're not the same radios. The 8500, it's a radio that is very wide band frequency. I go from 150 kilohertz way down to 2000 megahertz up. The R75 is more like a shortwave, lower VHF frequency. Like I don't remember what frequency it stops, but like 50 megahertz or something like that. But Watershed says, interesting, Jean-Gabriel visited Montreal in the early 90s, and I don't remember seeing any Algerians or Muslims to speak of. I did see some immigrants from Portugal. Yeah, it also depends also what part of Montreal you're in.
Of course.
If you go here in the plateau, you're going to see French, you're going to see lots of Quebecois, and in general, not that many immigrants. If you go in, it really depends on what part of Montreal you are. Downtown is different than here. This is, where I'm here, which is technically it's Saint-Michel, but across the street here it's Rosemont. So I always think myself of more being in the Rosemont than Saint-Michel. But this part is different than downtown, than Outremont, than the West Island. It's very different depending on where you were in Montreal, actually.
And no, I personally don't think that Quebec will ever become a nation because there is too many immigrants here. That's my point of view here.
The only time that Quebec came really close to become a separate nation was in 1995.
And
there was a referendum. It ended up extremely close, like 50.4%.
To 49 point something.
It was like 50.6% wanted to stay, and 49.4% wanted to go.
51-49.
It was almost a 50-50 thing. And one of the reasons for that happening is that Canada spent billions of dollars and doing everything it could. And just to give you guys an idea, I think the difference in there was like 100,000 votes, which is very small. And in the 6 months prior to the vote, Canada had gotten in over 200,000 immigrants to make sure that they could vote. So, it gives you an idea of how things went and how...
And in the recent years, I believe, when it was Stephen Harper in power, that would have been the only time maybe there would have been a
And
chance
it's
for
still
it.
there. You know what?
But,
I think that is.
but now, no, it won't happen. It won't happen.
You know, I consider myself, and I'll be honest, I'll consider myself a little more Quebecois than Canadian.
Yeah.
But I am not, you know, I know of Quebecois people
I'm not ashamed of being Canadian.
Oh, not at all.
Not at all.
Not at all. It's I think it's,
you
can be proud of being.
In other countries, I will say, I'm Canadian. I come from Canada.
Of course, because that's the banner that everybody knows.
And it's all right. It's all right.
And I in a lot of people that you talk to about this, and it's a very sensitive issue, by the way, is that yes, there are Quebecois people that are very, very anti-Canadian. I'm not part of that. I'm not anti-Canadian, and often I will say, I consider myself Quebecois because of my French language and everything. But I will always say, I'm not that bad here. Even if we stay in Canada, I have no problem with that. Yeah. But some do, but not me.
What about saying we are citizens of the earth?
Oh yeah, that's I like that. It's like why not citizens of the earth?
No. You know what? I have an attachment to my country, of course, but I'm okay with living in the US, in Europe, whatever will suit me better in the future. I don't care.
Vianney Arsenault, welcome from Gaspésie. VA2VMA. Vianney from Gaspésie.
There's actually a cook at my job who's called Vianney.
Oh, really?
Hope it's not him. That'd be fun. So, I will ask him tomorrow.
That's a big antenna in front of my camera. Yeah.
Actually, the guy's a French guy. So
Vianney says I'm from Canada also, Acadian, Quebecois, and Canadien.
The guy I'm talking about is from France. So that would have been fun. Hey, 3 hours!
Not really, Scotty. It's not exactly as like that. Like we I don't know. That's kind of a slippery terrain, but you know what? Part of the Quebecois hate the rest of Canada.
74.90.
Yes, and part of the rest of Canada hates Quebec. So I think there's something there that's pretty much equal from one side and the other. Apart from that, I'm happy to just I went to Toronto. I went to Niagara Falls. If I ever go further west, Vancouver and all of that, I'll be extremely happy to visit all of Canada. I'll be happy to, be part of all of that. It's quite all right. I am not one of those that is, hates anybody. And, like everybody and everywhere, there are people that hate and the people that just, try to be the best they can.
Well, to answer Green Bay and Tottenham, Quebec does have to keep an identity because we are different from the rest of America, honestly. And we have to...
What's very unique here is the fact, that we really have our French language.
That's the only place that really
it's very,
speaks
very,
French.
it does make it unique. And, I think if the rest of Canada just was able to just say, you know what, we want you to stay. And yeah, you are unique. You are special in your culture and everything. You know what? I think we wouldn't even talk about separation or anything anymore because it's a very simple gesture that would just, for a lot of people, make it, I don't know.
And you on the chat, stop ranting about McDonald's.
Dave, Todd, hello there. Getting too political. Drop the subject, please.
Yes.
Well,
let's keep that for an Anything Goes show.
Yeah, we'll do it in Anything Goes. But, we come back from time to time. So, it's mostly, I would say that any Quebecer that hates Canada is an idiot at some point. And any Canadian that hates Quebec is an idiot also. These are the kind of people that I don't want to talk about or I don't want to have any part with because I think that's short-sighting. It's just not really,
random music on 74.90.
Yeah, it's WBCQ.
Okay.
WBCQ has many music shows. There's one that is the Fred Flintstone
Yeah,
radio
but
show.
it's
Well, let me just check it out here. It's good signal. 7490.
yeah.
7490.
And so you wandered through the doorway.
And so she wandered to the doorway.
Oh yeah, I passed you again.
Woohoo! Cheers.
Cheers. 3 hours already.
That's approximately the usual lengths of any radio
Yeah.
shows.
So it means we are nearing the end of this already.
Yeah, we'll continue on for just a little bit more.
Of
but,
course,
you know,
of course.
2300, 2300 UT, and I mean, you know, there's too much. Life is too short to have anybody to hate. I think, except your worst enemy.
I hate you.
I hate you too. I'm just pretending that you're a great guy.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. It's just that you want money, so you have,
When you're gone.
you have to invite people.
When you're gone, you know, man, you should see what I rant about you in the shows.
When you're dead, you should see what I will do with all your stuff. I will play on your old consoles at home. Yes.
Well, French culture is not adrift that much. I think we still have a very good identity about French stuff.
We have to accept that it is evolving.
But you know, we are surrounded by English language speakers in the United States, the rest of Canada. You know, it's normal that it makes it difficult to keep. 5040 is still a little early for that, but let's just try it out. 5040 usually is Cuba. And 5040, nothing. Really nothing there. And remember, guys, if you're listening to the Shortwave Pirate, the Shortwave Relay, he's on 5200 now rather than 5150.
The Mythical. What is that?
Yeah, well, the multicolorism, you know, too many, yeah, that doesn't help for sure.
Right.
You know, I think we should have a little more, be more scared now of all the immigrants coming here and trying to change who we are than, you know, the rest of Canada.
Mm.
The rest of Canada isn't scaring me at all. Oh, man.
Toronto is boring.
Well, you know, it depends.
Sorry.
No, it's not. So it depends where. You know, there's a lot of nice things in Toronto, but
the Maid Cafe in Chinatown of
It's
Toronto is not boring.
it's very different from Montreal. That's for sure.
Yeah. But the Maid Cafe in Toronto Chinatown is not boring at all.
The Maid Cafe in Chinatown.
Maid Cafe.
Okay. Oh, the Maid Cafe. Okay. Dave Todd, should I replace the battery in my R71A? Should I get an Ardo or PyX board? You know, the R71A, the only thing about the battery is that it is one of those bad things of that that radio is that the battery dies and then all of the software dies, and I can tell you that. So you know, it's pretty amazing. Apart from that, Scotty shared a cheap 8500 on eBay. Hope it works well though. You're watching the Shortwave Radio Show. We're in Montreal, Quebec, Canada. We've been on for 3 hours and 6 minutes right now, 7 minutes.
And 10 seconds.
It's really, really, really cool to have everybody on board. You know,
Glad
always
to be
a nice
here
audience.
once in a while.
Really cool to have you. You know, from time to time you're
Yeah.
gonna pop up and show up. So you know, it's gonna cool.
So we're in April? Well,
yeah, April, and of course it has to be most of, well, you know, anyways, we alternate. For those that wonder this show, because I always get the question, this show alternates Fridays and Saturdays, so this week is Friday, next week will be Saturday. It always goes like that, so we have a show every week.
We'll see if it works well, maybe, during the week between me and Toronto and the Grand Prix. Maybe.
We're gonna check it out.
Like
of course, as we get beautiful days, we're gonna have some
more vodka.
More vodka, and maybe some outdoor shows, and of course some from the shows coming back from my balcony. Also, one is gonna be really nice.
G-Spot.
So
I was talking about G-Spot in the chat.
G-Spot. What is G-Spot?
No,
that's not what I wanted to say. What is, I mean, in the chat, conversation,
well.
not what is G-spot.
I believe we drank too much.
Bullfrog 89, hello there. 5150 is on 5200 now, 5200. So it's that's where we are. That's where the relay station is. Water says that this is a very interesting conversation. I like you guys focus on Quebec Canadian. You know, well, I like to focus a little bit sometimes, not too long, but
just to replace ourselves.
But people in the rest of the world have no idea.
What it's like.
You know, it's like you guys in UK with Ireland
with the Brexit,
and everything and the Brexit.
We don't know what it's like for you.
You know, it's everybody has issues, and like Spain, that has the what's the name of that region that wants to separate all the time?
Catalonia.
Catalonia. Yeah.
Catalonia.
Yeah. It's like we don't know the insides of everywhere basically. So it's just nice to see it, but we just go around different subjects. So any signal that you're listening
11930?
11930 is Radio Mark T. That's Radio Mark T from the United States. Let's do a quick tune. We're gonna do another easy tuning mode scan here.
One last easy tuning,
and we're gonna see what this little baby brings in. So
I believe you still have one sip.
Yes.
I still have one.
So cheers, everyone. Welcome aboarding. It's always fun to have all of you here.
And no refill this time.
So hey Miller 0048, nice to have you here.
I feel like going to sing.
Vianney Arsenault is listening to. He's got the radio on 11175, the U.S. Air Force frequency. Most part time, the messages are coded. Today, this frequency was especially busy. Interesting.
11175.
You have to be an upper sideband, and on 11175, if you leave it there a little bit, you'll see that this is the U.S. Air Force frequency, and they have what's called the emergency action message. And if you want to hear it well. I remember I told you there's a little dent on that. Try to keep it really in the dent. So when you feel the little notch, leave it there. You should be pretty close to what it should sound like if they ever talk. They usually have what's called the EAM, the Emergency Action Messages. 8992 also is another frequency. And Jerry says you can't separate, we'll lose our Vachon and Grenache. Oh man. So it's
but if Quebec separates, how will we call the Montreal Canadians?
Yeah, well, they have to call them the Montreal
the Peanuts?
The Peanuts. Well,
the dollar, what would that be? The Canadian Tire dollar?
Yeah, probably. It's probably the only Canadian Tire money will probably be the only worthwhile money to have.
They're not giving it anymore,
Well, you have the card. You have the card now.
Are they still accepting the Canadian Tire money if you have some?
If you have some, yes.
Okay.
But they're not issuing anymore, and I believe probably someday they're going to say, "Hey, we're not taking them anymore."
I'll just go to the bank.
So yeah.
Well, I'll keep at least one bill of it,
David Arden is hearing the 860 kilohertz from Montreal.
In Atlanta, Georgia.
Well, 860, there's no station in Montreal on 860. The 860 station is in Toronto, if I'm not mistaken.
Sorry.
860 is not a Montreal medium wave station.
Dollarama money. Yeah, right.
Dollarama money.
Dollarama, the next Walmart.
Oh, man. So we're doing a last easy tuning mode. Wow, 24 stations.
Really?
Yeah.
What's your K-index right now?
Well, the K-index is every 3 hours, so we won't know the next one until midnight UTC, which is 8 p.m. So, what am I going to listen to here on the 24 stations? Yeah, but they're in Toronto. It's 860 is in Toronto. David Arden. It's not in Montreal.
22 stations of noise.
we don't have the Radio Canada frequencies in Montreal on the medium wave band anymore. It's on FM. They were 690 for the French one and 940 for the English one before. But I believe 860 is the Toronto Radio Canada station. So if I'm not mistaken. So okay.
So what do we have?
15730.
15730.
Yep.
730.
There is something there. 15730.
There is something.
Let's check that out. It's in Spanish, and it seems to be a new frequency for Radio Havana, Cuba. Huh.
Oh well.
Okay. 15730, new frequency for Radio Havana, Cuba. Okay, and it's in Spanish right now. 15610, WEWN, the Catholic station.
James Wall from the Diocese of Gallup, New Mexico. Keep
Yep.
it right here on Catholic Answers Live.
Next is
13845. For once, it's not a annoying woman, it's an annoying man. WWCR, Nashville, Tennessee, USA.
As your eyes being opened and discerning the Word of God enables you to grasp with faith the truth.
13740, which is Radio Havana, Cuba. Yes, I did see the picture, Bullfrog 89.
I hear it too.
12105, WTWW.
Entering quite well here.
12105. 12050. WEWN.
Oh, it's really bad on this one, on the ATS 505. Pretty bad.
Can we start talking about separation and stuff like that, please? We're not here to get anybody annoyed.
You annoy me just by being here.
11930 is Radio Marti.
Okay, yeah.
So 11930 Radio Marti.
What's next?
11880. 11880 Radio Havana, Cuba.
Oh.
In English.
I hear it pretty bad here.
It's Paul the cat. Coming back to say bye. Hey. 11840 is, I believe, something like Radio Havana, Cuba also.
Bye.
Oh my God, you gotta listen to that. 11825, Brother Stairs Moaning Moments. It's Brother Stairs Moaning Moments.
Bye.
You didn't notice? It sounds like cows.
Oh, maybe the South Park Martians. Maybe the South Park aliens.
This is amazing, okay? 11760. We're invaded by Radio Havana, Cuba everywhere. It's actually better than Brother Stair.
Everything is better than Brother Stair.
9980 WWCR. 9980 WWCR.
Democracy, we're a democracy. We were established to be a republic. And why do you think he said?
Not super strong, but 9935 is Greece. 9935. Greece.
Ooh. Hello, cat.
Come on. Oh wait.
He doesn't know what he wants.
He wants food.
Soon. Isn't there plenty in his bowl already?
Never enough. 9555, not very strong, but I think that's Saudi Arabia also. And the cat is here again, saying, hello, everybody. I am the beautiful cat. $9535 is, I'm not sure. Not very strong. 9535. Oh, it's the moaning preacher again. 9505.
Oh god.
This is. It's the only times I enjoy listening to Brother Stare. Just have a big laugh. $9475, not very strong. 9350. I think that's WWCR also, with some bluesy style music.
A lot of distortion on this radio.
Okay. 7210.
Just listen to that.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. When it overloads, it does that. It will be better if you unclip the wire.
True.
So 7210 is China Radio International from Albania in Spanish. And 6175 also. 6175 also. China Radio International via Albania in Spanish. Look at the cat, man.
He's telling you, and this show, I want to eat.
But actually, he's like, I'm okay here now. $6115 WWCR in Nashville, Tennessee, USA.
Yep.
6090, which is Caribbean Beacon with a very, very bad. Very, very bad. Well, it's not because it's not for Albania, David Arden. It's for Europe or something like that. It's for the Spanish community in Europe. It's Europe directed transmission from CRI. And that's it. We've gone through all the frequencies. So it's pretty cool.
Ooh.
So, hey, we've been on for 3 hours and 30 minutes or 20 minutes.
Almost, yeah.
Pretty cool. Hope everybody enjoyed the show.
Always cool.
And, hey, if you guys want to donate, once again, I'll just post for last time. And remember, I'm preparing a special show because you guys have been really generous and really great people. So there will be a out of cycle show. I will be doing a special show in the coming week or two.
Like a surprise show.
And yeah, surprise show. We're going to have a lot of fun and hope you guys are going to enjoy. So I'll be keeping you guys posted on that. So PayPal donations at this email that I've just posted of Yahoo email. You can also give us or become basically a little bit my boss if you want at patreon.com/radio and computers.
Yes, cool AM radio. Someday we could do special boobs on the couch.
And it's sad because we have a lot of people that could really be fantastic boob contests here, and the people we know. So anyways, but they would not be here for that only.
Like playing frisbee?
Oh my god, that was something. If you guys ever want to have fun, play frisbee with a big boobed woman. I know she isn't watching, so I don't think there's gonna be a problem.
No, when she's watching, she's working right now.
Oh god. So
well.
Hey, nice to have you on board, and it's pretty cool. Like David says, China Radio Relay in Serik, Albania is used to broadcast to Europe, South America, and even in North America. The evening China Radio International broadcasts for North America are from Albania, except one that's from Cuba. So thank you, everybody. Super nice to have you guys on board. Have a great weekend. Good night, all. And merci beaucoup.
Thank you for inviting me.
That's pretty cool.
So see ya next Thursday.
Yeah, next Thursday from the couch, and we will have our retro gaming, which is going to be, I'm not sure yet, maybe back to the Atari. We'll see.
We'll see.
Good night, all of you. Always a great honor and great pleasure to all of you being here. Really nice.
Well, it's cool for me to be here too.
And
see you soon, everyone.
That you enjoyed today's show. Just the last rundown of my shows. Tuesday, tech show, 3 p.m. Eastern Time, 1900 UTC. I answer your tech questions. At 6 p.m. Eastern Time, 2200 hours UTC, the Windows Insider Hour. Then on Thursdays with this guy, From the Couch, we talk about the last week in gaming and tech news. 4 p.m. Eastern Time, 2000 hours UTC. Retro Gaming on the Old Computer Museum show channel is 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 2330 UTC. And the next radio show will be next Saturday
29th.
The 29th of April. And we will talk about shortwave radio, have a lot of fun, tuning around with the ICOM receiver. And, well, you know what, David, we have a lot of stuff. The first shows we did were not emulators. We're the real Atari 1040 ST, the real Amiga 500.
PS2 a few weeks ago.
PlayStation 2 a few weeks ago. So we have emulation, we have the real things also. So you're all redder in the face than 3 hours ago. That's the alcohol.
No, that's the lighting.
Yeah, the lighting maybe. Yeah.
White lights makes you red.
White lights makes you red. So take care, everybody. Thanks for being here, and see you soon. Love you all. Stay safe, please. Hey, you. Don't do that again.
Yeah, mad dog.
Arr.